Hello and good evening.
Hey, up. That was quick. I was like, whoa, there I am.
I told you it was only going to take about 10 seconds.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for that. I was looking at the other screen. I was like, whoa, there I am. Like, I'm looking this way. I'm not like, hi, guys. How you doing? So,
well, welcome back to the Hangout, or welcome to the Hangout, whether this is your first time or you guys are returning. I'm Joshua Cummins, as you may well know. And, well, this guy next to me, we'll get to him in a minute. No, his name is Jeremy Lykins, and we're going to be hearing about his story tonight. But before we do, just a reminder that Hangout is just one of many shows on Revolver Broadcasting. What is Revolver Broadcasting, you might ask? Well, it's an entire network of shows for your entertainment, for your education, for your news, for your pure joy. So if you haven't already, do make sure and follow or subscribe depending upon the platform you're viewing or listening on. And also make sure that you're going to the website, revolverbroadcasting.com. The website again is revolverbroadcasting.com. And if you were to go there, you could check it out, and it would look a lot like, well, it will look like this, actually. Not a lot like it. It will look like this. And if you hover over where it says podcast, you'll see all of the shows in one place. You can actually even check out this one where you click on Hangout, and it'll take you right in there. After I click on it. For sure. Okay, yep. And then even the most current live episode directly to the website.
Nice.
And you can do that with any of our shows when they're live. If you want to just view it from the website, it's your choice to do so. I highly recommend Rumble, but it's your choice to watch from the website if you want. We would encourage you to do that as well. You can also check out our news chambers where we have daily devotionals written by our good friend Danny Tippett, meant to deepen your faith and to make you think. We also have our prayer list in our news chambers, and if you go in news stories and assertions, if you want to, get in with the cultivating the culture of prayer as we do over here at Revolver Broadcasting, you can always go over there and pray for all those folks by name. And if you want to be added to that prayer list, or maybe you have a prayer request, praise report that you want to relay to us, well, fill out the email form at the bottom part of any of our email page or any of our webpage, and all those emails come to Sterling and I, and we will get you added or taken off the prayer list depending upon your situation. Fantastic. The last thing, but not least, is our shop, and we would highly encourage you to check out the shop so you can shop like a hot shot. Revolver Broadcasting, pew pew, get it. You can shop like a hot shot. You can also see all of our collections here. We've got the Crisis King collection, Revolver Broadcasting brand, Trump Vance, Morning Word, Faith, Fame, and Politics, The Agenda, it Makes Sense, Freedom, everything but this show. I still haven't made any shirt. I know I've been getting messages about that. We're gonna have some Hangout stuff, but it's episode 10, guys. Just hang out with me for a minute. But until then, you can always check out all of our other collections. I highly recommend going into the Revolver Broadcasting brand collection, where you can get all the Revolver Broadcasting brand stuff, including the Alan is Missing t-shirt, because if Alan is found, we do ask that you return him to Revolver Broadcasting. He's not actually missing, we just don't see him in the studio all that often. So we hear you can lure him into your panel van with basketballs and bags of candy. It seems to be his favorite thing. But also, we've spotted him in the wild, and it seems that he's become the Alan Squatch. So if you want to pick up one of the, I believe, Alan Squatch's real t-shirts, you can pick up one of those directly from our shop as well. And of course, all the Revolver Broadcasting brand, goodies there as well. Lots of fun stuff for you guys to check out. Make sure you guys are liking this content. If you haven't already hit that like button, make sure that you've subscribed or followed, depending upon the platform you're viewing and listening on. Make sure that you are hitting that notification bell so you always know when Revolver Broadcasting is going live. And we'd really, really, really love it if you share this content, repost, that kind of thing, because sharing is in fact caring.
Oh yeah.
Is if you don't share, we'll find out, and then we'll have to come get you.
The humor here, this is great.
All right, Mr. Lykins. Now we're going to talk all about you. It's all about you for the rest of this episode, and we're going to get started with some warm up questions, and then we'll retrograde. We'll go back to baby Jeremy. But for right now, we're just going to this warm up questions. We'll start with, what's your favorite color?
Well, if you can see my shirt and the rest of this room is would be black. It's just I wear black. I have blacks like decor everywhere. So
Black on black, huh?
yeah. Except it's not good when you're printing out shirts to print black on black. You gotta make it transparent. I figured that out the hard way. It's like this is awful.
Yeah, get a little bit of outline or something. Yeah.
Yeah, go into Photoshop and take all the black out of the design that you're designing and to get it printed on the shirt that way. And then the black on the design is actually the shirt. And it looks better. So
Yeah.
I found that out the hard way, though, when I got something printed out. I just thought they would realize that, hey, you don't need the black, but they didn't compute with them. So I had a black, like the whole design was like, it just was bad. So.
Yeah. Well, we learn from our mistakes, don't we?
Yeah, luckily I was the one that ordered the shirt for a test run, and I was like, "Nope, got to redo that."
Womp,
So,
womp, womp.
yeah, definitely. So,
All right. So, second question is, what's your favorite book? Favorite book?
you know, I haven't read in a long time, honestly, but I can remember like really enjoying the Left Behind series. Really like, got into that. Like, I think I got a couple books past the Nikolai book, but like it really just I'm fascinated with like the end times, and it was just a really cool take on things, for me.
Yeah.
Another book that has really resonated with me was The Bait of Satan, and it's about offense and how he uses that to lure us in. If we get offended, it can take a lot of root and bitterness and all that stuff. So I want to reread that actually. So there's probably two of the most influential books in my life. Like maybe Bait of Satan's more influential in like fiction, guys, like based on. I guess it wouldn't totally be fiction, but it is a kind of a fantasy book series, really. Left Behind. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I remember Left Behind really well because, especially because what got me into the books, unfortunately, was not a good. It was a girlfriend. 'Cause
Oh yeah.
I'd only ever watched the Kirk Cameron terrible acting films.
Oh, that's bad.
And she was like, no, you got to check out the book. She goes, the characters are so much more fulfilling. And then I started reading the books. I was like, oh, I see why she wanted to read every single one in the series. And I think I made it a few books in, but yeah.
Yeah. I
Very
think I got all the way up to like Nikolai, and then I just kind of fell off from there. So
Yeah, but very fascinating take on what could happen. I think the movies left out that part where there's like, oh, there's just gonna be clothes lying there. I'm like, I think the clothes will probably just go to like, I don't think there's gonna be
they go up there nude or something,
right.
Like,
I think the clothes will disappear with them.
yeah. Yeah, I never thought about that. I was like, I guess they went to their glorified body and were wearing clothes too. I don't know.
Yeah. Although it would stink if you had to wear that outfit for the rest of eternity. Whatever it is.
I don't know why that was so funny. I was thinking, man, if I had to wear the same shirt, I mean, hopefully they've got washer and dryer up there too,
Yeah, but like I went to Talladega and all I got was this stinking shirt. Yeah.
The God's like, you're gonna wear this for the rest of eternity.
It's a reminder that you are a Riri.
And you like Ricky Bobby.
Shake and bake, baby, shake and bake. Well, it leads us into movies. So what is your favorite movie?
The movie I've probably watched the most is Liar Liar. I think that is by far the funniest movie that Jim Carrey ever put out. I just think it's just a riot. I watch it, I don't know, at least once a month. At least. Like it's just, yeah, I just love it. Like,
Yeah.
It's just,
We quote it consistently. So
do you really?
yeah, it's a quotable movie, right? I
Oh
mean,
yeah, yeah.
the
The pin
claw.
is
Yeah.
no.
Or oh no, here comes the claw. Like because he's trying to redo it or whatever, and he's just terrible at it. The stepfather. I can't remember the actor's name, but he's really good at being a bad stepfather. And the pen is blue. The royal pen is blue.
That's what I was gonna say too. Except I wasn't gonna say the other part.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, stop breaking the law.
the elevator scene. I'm not gonna repeat that, but that was just
Yeah.
classic. The bloopers make it. I love it when they show the bloopers at the end. So
Yeah. Yeah. The piece of paper where he was like a goose.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely my favorite movie of all time.
Great film.
Yeah.
So you're a big fan of humor then?
Oh yeah. Most of my friends can't hang out with me without spitting out their drink. So I don't know. Like somebody turned me on to Dale Jones. Have you ever heard of Dale Jones, the comedian? He started out as a Christian comedian. I think he's a little more risque now, but one of his lines was, "It's my first time hearing it too," and I find myself doing that too. Like I'll say something, I'll be like, "It's my first time hearing it too." So, but
I'll have to check him out. I love comedy, so I'll definitely have to check him out.
I have PureFlix too, and I think he's on a couple specials on PureFlix too. If you've ever checked that out before,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's locked in here. I'll definitely check that out.
PureFlix Comedy All Stars. He's on one of those. Me and my wife are gonna go see Jeff Allen here in about a month. I love him.
Yeah, he's the happy wife, happy life guy.
Yeah, he's something else.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing him for the first time on the Bananas comedy DVDs that they put out like in 2005, 6, something like that. I think it was. Maybe it was a little later than that, but I remember those DVDs, and it was like the first time I saw him, and I think Tim Hawkins was on there, and a few others. It was just like those big
Chick-fil-A. I could eat there 7 times a day. Chick-fil-A song. It's so great.
I think my favorite Tim Hawkins bit though is when he does the different kinds of praise hands.
Oh, that's great too. Yeah.
Carrying the TV. Yeah. I got
Field goal.
This big.
Yeah.
That's
great.
All right. Well, we're going to retrograde now, as we say on here. We're retrograde. We're going to go all the way back to baby Jeremy. I can do the sound effects without the board. But,
okay.
Fresh out of the womb, baby Jeremy. What was it like growing up as Jeremy Lykins?
Actually, when I was born premature. I was like 4 pounds, I think 7 ounces. Spent the most of my, I don't know how many, if it was weeks or months in the NICU. So, that is kind of, I'm definitely put on a few more pounds since then, but growing up though, I lived I had a very good family life. My dad worked very hard for our family, and he's a retired chemist now, but he was a chemist at some manufacturing places and did pretty well for the family. So my mom was able to stay at home and everything. So we lived our house was on a hill. We were at the top of the hill, and then right next to me was my aunt and uncle, and down the hill were my grandparents. So it was we're all we'd walk or ride the 4-wheelers or do stuff like that growing up. It was a lot of fun living out, and we lived in the woods. So it was, you couldn't, now to this day, you can barely get a cell phone signal out there. But we went to a little church, little tiny independent Baptist church. That's where I sang my first song, "I Love You, Lord Jesus," off of the Music Machine. I don't know if that you remember that at all. It was a kind of a kids' praise sort of deal or whatever. I sang in front of the church. I was like 5 years old. I actually found it. Somebody put it on YouTube a year ago, and I'm gonna remake that song because I sang it when I was 5, and now I'm 48. I think it'd be cool to kind of redo. So, but I did really good in school. I was a B, sometimes straight A student. Only time I really got in trouble was when my mom told me to stay out of the tar. I think I might have been like maybe even before 5. They had like a 5-gallon bucket of tar, and I got into it, right? And I didn't know it was all over my face. She still has pictures. Like, I didn't get into the tar. She's like, Jeremy Bradford Lykins. I got in trouble for that, but like as far like just ornery toddler pretty much. But
Yeah, we don't want to share those photos here. We'll get you canceled real quick.
tar on my face.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was doing that way back in the day. So, I think it was just like on my nose, a little bit on my nose, so it wouldn't get canceled.
Okay.
So but it was obvious. I had it like just kind of around the face and stuff. But my cousins lived next door to us, and like my grandparents were down the street, could walk down the road, and it was pretty cool. They had chickens, and they had a campground where they had a shelter house and a bunk house, and like I was pretty blessed, a lot of family reunions, you know. And then what happened is in like 19, I'm kind of fast forwarding a little bit, but like story doesn't really get too interesting until about 1990. And that's still what, 36 years ago? Yeah. So got a little bit to talk about. And we moved to Mooresville. My dad got a job with Federal Mogul in Mooresville. We moved to Canby, actually, and I went to Paul Hadley Junior High and seventh grade. So Winton Elementary in the Connorsville area, then moved up here in 1990. Still got great grades on the honor roll, all that good jazz. And then I got jumped by someone who was way older than me that was still in junior high, and ended up getting all my assignments done in ISS for the entire week in like a day. So I got to know the staff, and they really enjoyed me being in there, and sent me off to a Red Cross leadership camp. So had I not that not happened, God takes, Bible talks about all things work together for good for those who are called according to his purpose. I believe I got that right.
Yeah.
And so out of something bad came something really good. Funny part about this is a couple years later, one of the girls that was at the leadership camp moved next door to me. How wild is that? So I wouldn't have. I already knew her from the leadership camp, so it was kind of wild. And I started playing piano when I was age 9. My grandparents that lived in I don't know if you know where Liberty, Indiana. I'm kind of jumping back and forth here, but
it's common on here.
she had a keyboard, and I really took interest into it. She had a piano and stuff too. Started playing piano and everything, and I'll take a drink real quick. Started doing piano recitals, still in Connorsville, and piano recitals, and enjoyed doing that. And then when I moved up here, I started playing after church. We went to Grace Missionary Church in Mooresville. After church, I'd sit down at the piano and play sometimes. The guy comes up to me. He said, "Hey, man, I'm a drummer. I'm wanting to start up a little band." He said, "You want to play keys for us?" I was like, got a keyboard? He's like, I do. So we started doing like nowadays, this is probably a bad band to bring up, but back in the day when Newsboys wasn't a controversial subject,
Yeah.
we did like Not Ashamed. I bet they are now, but that was a joke my friend told me the other day. He goes, I bet the Newsboys are ashamed now.
Yeah. The good thing is they can be forgiven. So yeah,
that was a bad joke.
Yeah. It's still humorous.
Unfortunately, I joke about inappropriate things all the time. So, but we did like Twyla Paris and Stephen Curtis Chapman, Michael W. Smith, kind of the more of the CCM type stuff, and did shows there. And one of the guys in that band that play guitar said, "Hey man, thinking about starting up a band that does like Bush covers, Smashing Pumpkins, stuff like that." And I loved those bands because I went to I listened to X103 a lot, and we went to like the local Karma, and there was this old like this mom and pop place called the Jukebox. It was
to explain what each of those things are real quickly for the
that are Karma Records, where I bought CDs of albums that just came out. So
and then X103, that was a local radio station that played all the like alternative rock.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that people. I actually got some airplay on there, which is cool. So
nice.
But I worked at a skating rink at the time, Southland Skate off of Southport and Bluff. Some of you may remember it. And I asked him if I could throw a show there. So we threw our first show at Southland Skate and had a ton of people show up. It was awesome. We scheduled it right after the homecoming game. So people came after the homecoming game to kind of party. So, but I have to take a quick break here for a second.
Yeah.
You notice I'm squirming.
Yeah. All right. Well, while he takes a quick break here, we're going to sell you guys some t-shirts. How about that? And so once again, I'll direct you to the website, revolverbroadcasting.com. I may even take you into the shop a little bit. We'll see. While he's there, let's see if I can get this to come over here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. All right. So we'll go over here into the shop and check out some more stuff here while you're all here waiting for Jeremy to come back and continue telling his story. Of course, I showed you earlier some of the Revolver Broadcasting branded stuff. So, if you happen to be a person of faith, the Christ is King collection is pretty fantastic because we have all these different hats and shirts and mugs and stickers and stuff that you can check out. It says Christ is King on it. I have the hoodie and the well, I don't have the hat anymore. I think I gave that to somebody, but I do have the hoodie, and it's super, super comfy. If you guys get the hoodie, it's super, super comfy. Worth every penny. And I also have the Storm is beautiful when you have Jesus t-shirt. We have it in the men's and women's. So if you guys want to check that out, the women's has the lady walking towards the cross, middle of the storm. And also the guys, we have to have the muscle cars. So we have to put the Impala on there with the tires kicking up all that smoke and everything. So yeah, make sure you guys get those t-shirts today for sure. And we welcome back our guest as he continues. So you're working at the skating rink, and you get a gig there.
Yeah, and so here's the funny thing. I was so green, right? Like I didn't know what marijuana was. I didn't know what that stuff was. Everybody's super happy. They're super hungry, right? So like I guess everybody was like partying hard, and this is my senior year of high school, so I kind of fast forward a little bit because there wasn't much going on in between those there, but they all had the munchies. That's why the snack bar ran out of food, so they were like super thrilled that we played there because of that simple fact that like the snack bar at the skating rink ran out of everything, like everything that they had. So I thought that was because I didn't know. And then she goes, I know why they were hungry. I'm like, why? So I'd never been like even around it, so I had no clue. I just thought they were hungry. Didn't know there was a reason why they were really hungry. You know,
Weird
so
thing that they sold out of everything, you know? Hey.
they wanted us back like real soon. Like they're like they didn't have to rent out skates, they didn't have to have a skate guard, didn't have to have a DJ, the band was playing and the snack bar was rolling, you know. So um so we did that a couple times and
What
we
was the name of that
played
band? What was the name of that band?
Flying Dust Bunnies.
Flying Dust Bunnies.
That was the name of our band, and I think we did mainly like Bush and Nirvana and Smashing Pumpkins covers like that, and it was a lot of fun. That's the first time that I really sang in front of people like in a band. But I think we did one song with the previous like the CCM band. We did like a rock alternative cover of Open House by Plank Eye, and they had me sing that. So I don't know if you remember Plank Eye or not. They're kind of obscure.
Yeah, that's a little bit
Yeah.
out of my CD collection. I've got some odd ones. You know, I collected over the years, and because Christian music it got like there for a time, like especially in the 90s and the early 2000s, it got kind of weird for a while.
Yeah.
Bands like Sky Park. I don't know if you remember Sky Park at all.
No.
They were a little.
Did like Starflyer 59, MXPX, stuff like that.
Yeah, they would have fit in with them. They're not really punk necessarily, but they were just kind of like a rock alternative mishmash of stuff. Like they were yeah. You just
Yeah.
you really have to hear them to like okay, now I see why he said they were just strange.
You can probably find them on streaming somewhere.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Let's see here. So that's what kind of led into him wanting me to sing for the cover band, the regular rock alternative cover band. And we had a few friends from other bands that we knew that played bass and played drums. And that segues into the talent show prior to that, where we did the talent show. I think I talked with you about before this. So the choir director said that I wasn't suited for choir because I didn't have a strong enough voice. And we ended up, I think it was getting second place by the talent show put on by the choir. So it was just kind of poetic, you know. And I think the next time we went with my original band, I ended up getting first place. So just cool.
It was with the Flying Dust Bunnies.
Yeah, second place with Flying Dust Bunnies, and the next band I'm going to get into. We went back and played after I was out of high school, but my brother was the drummer and the guitar player still went there, so we qualified to go back into the talent show, even though I was out of school. So,
nice.
But that band decided to record without me, record an original song that I had written the music to, actually. On my day I graduated, said I couldn't make it. There was a reason why I couldn't make the recording session, but I was graduating high school. So, needless to say, moved on. And my brother and I started a band with a guy that we just met. He was a pretty good guitar player, and I played bass and sang. And we started playing in the Sunshine Inn, which was a Christian coffee house in Fountain Square.
Oh yeah.
And started playing there a lot, and played there a lot. And then we ended up picking up a bass player after that, and I focused more on the vocals. And we got to do shows with, like, we opened for Audio Adrenaline at Garfield Park. We opened for Disciple. We opened for Spoken. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
The others I have, but
Spoken just signed, I think, last year to Brian Welch from Korn's label.
oh, okay, yeah.
So and he has on his album now has Ryan Clark from Demon Hunter. I just went and saw last week. They're awesome. and he's got Brian Welch on his album too. So, but so that band lasted for a while, and then I got a little. This is make a long. I could talk forever on this, but
That's what this is for.
okay.
Yeah.
So
A long version.
so I wasn't a popular kid in school. I graduated with honors and all that. Got picked on a lot, made fun of, and I think when I saw the cheerleaders flashing me, I was like, "Oh hey," like got very distracted on,
to say the least.
the original band that I started with my brother and our friend. Got very popular. With popularity comes the crowd, comes the wanting to fit in, comes the feeling accepted because you drank a beer with them, or you smoked a joint with them, or you slept around. And like I eventually got booted from the band because of my actions, and for the longest time I wanted to blame them for kicking me out, and it was my fault, and I realize that now, but for the longest time I'd be like, well, he kicked me out and I started this band. And it's like, you got to own up to what you do.
Accountability.
Yeah, instead of playing victim. And for the longest time I played victim, like, well, they did this to me and I'm the victim, and I'm like, but what did I do to them for them to do that?
Yeah. It's always difficult because I as I told you about during pre-show, like I was in and out of a bunch of different bands, and I did that, and it always stunk to have to kick somebody out, because being in a band, you guys are your brothers or brothers and sisters depending upon the dichotomy of the band, but you get to really know each other inside and out, and then to have to let somebody go, it can really hurt. It hurts just as much on that end of having to let somebody out of the band, get somebody out of the band, as it does being the one getting kicked out.
Yeah.
And I've been on both sides of that, and I didn't like do anything to not necessarily negative or anything. It's just people were just way more musically talented than I was in different kinds of ways, and so I was just a guy with his acoustic guitar, so but the having to kick, we'd been in a lot of bands where we had to kick people out for substance abuse and other things, and sometimes people had to step away too. That was always a heartbreaker too, like because especially in high school when you're in the bands, then somebody has to step away because now their girlfriend is pregnant, and you're like, oh, okay,
right,
responsibility, but like, can you still be in the band and do that? They're like, no. Mom and dad said.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it, man. It's a heartbreaker for sure.
Yeah, and to own up and take accountability for your actions. I look at it now, and it's like, we played with Disciple, we played with Spoken, we played with all. If I would have kept my life intact, like, and not strayed away from the faith, and not. I mean, I could be Disciple played Winter Jam at Bainbridge, whatever you call it. An arena. Like, I could be doing things like that had I not like strayed away. I really feel like that. But God, even though He knows we're going to step away, even though we're given free will. Like, we're not robots. But those guys stuck to their faith, and now they're killing it and saving souls and doing all that. That was one of the most awesome things I ever saw, was when we played shows with like Disciple, and they'd have an altar call, and like friends of mine would accept Jesus because then they came not because they knew Disciple, because they knew us, and then they liked Disciple, and then they said their spiel, if you will, not to like downplay that or anything, but said their message, and people were accepting Christ left and right. It was really cool to be a part of, and I still listen to our old music to this day because it was so bold. I'm actually trying to remix and remaster some of the older tracks that were very bold and put them out so people can put them on their playlists, you know. But that was very cool venture. You know, we got to play, and I think the farthest west we went was Denver, Castle Rock, Colorado Vision Festival. I think bands like Disciple and some other bigger acts played, and but I did not realize that playing outside in Colorado was not a good idea for someone from Indiana. So that was the longest half an hour set I've ever done because the elevation, I was like, am I dying? Like, you know,
Yeah, you
like,
got to get there like a week ahead of time so you can get your body used to it.
but I flew in, you know, I flew in and I was like, I wasn't ready for it. So, if I ever get back to playing live again and I get booked in Colorado, I'm going to ask for it to be indoors.
Well, even so, I mean, because that elevation is still it is what it is, you know. But you hear a lot of these guys that talk about playing Red Rocks, and they're like, "Yeah, we flew in like 3-5 days or drove in, whether the bus or plane 3 to 5 days early, so that they can get their body used to it."
Acclimated, either that or you have to get one of those elevation masks. You probably do that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's where the heavier scratch comes in. It's like, well, it's easier to pay for the hotel than it is one of those masks.
sure. How much do one of those run?
What hotel?
Elevation mask?
Oh, I don't know, probably in the thousands, I bet.
Probably.
Yeah, because you have to, because they probably run you on a treadmill and things like that just to get your blood oxygen level up and everything, because you have to be used to that elevation. Because the blood oxygen level is much higher at a higher elevation because it's having to compensate for that pressure.
It was crazy though. So I know next time if I ever play in Colorado, I'm going to want to be there for a few days. So
yeah, always, yeah, definitely get there ahead of time.
Yeah,
get your body used to it a little bit.
So the day after I got booted from that band, one of my friends who was a guitar player asked me to join his band, which is called Afterlife, and we were together for about, I don't want to say about 6 months, but it was a good run. We had we put out a 3-song demo and had quite the following. It was like a pretty big following. We played, I think most of the places we played at were like Festivila. Do you remember that place? Purple Underground.
Oh, I remember Purple Underground. I remember.
Yeah,
these are places in Indianapolis, by the way.
Guys. Yeah. Sorry, I keep forgetting this is a global audience.
Yeah. But, especially if you got the ones that watch on recording, we have viewers in Africa and India and Pakistan, all that stuff.
Nice, very cool.
Yeah.
So played all around there, and then the drummer decided he wanted to pursue an apprenticeship as an electrician, which we didn't blame him. And then the band just kind of dissolved, and we went our separate ways. But in the meantime, and all that, I met my daughter's mother, and we had fun, and things happened, and she was born, which is still the best thing that ever happened to me. Shout out to my daughter who just got past the exam for nursing in Missouri. So she just got her degree last year. So from Indiana Wesleyan. So
congratulations to her for sure.
Yeah, that was a big life-changing experience. When you're talking about bands and then somebody's girlfriend getting pregnant, I was like, yeah, I remember that. So, but I continued to pursue music and got with another band, and we played. I think the farthest west we went was like Salt Lake City, and there was a independent record label that said, hey, if you sound anything like you on the recording, you'll never have to work another day in your life. And we ended up driving one way to Salt Lake City and going to this guy's apartment in the hood. And he's like, I want to see if you can relocate your jobs. Like, he wanted us to relocate our jobs to Salt Lake City and sign with his label. And I was like, no. I can't do that. For one, I've got a daughter, and that's just not going to happen. So, yeah.
Yeah,
And the band was all for it, but I was not. So I think that kind of caused a little bit of turmoil. But we never heard from the guy again. He never followed up with us or anything. But we drove all the way there to Salt Lake City, and they said, "Oh yeah, you're on first." And we weren't even, and it was a like 24-hour straight through drive, I think it was. And we didn't have any time to even shower or anything. We just had to go on.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they booked us at some other club that didn't promote us being there, and like there was no promotion. We pretty much just playing to whoever came with us. So, but yeah. So
kind of a wasted drive then, huh?
it was fun though. It was fun.
And that this band was called
Meltdown. Yeah, which we have some stuff up on. We got the song "Wish" and "Betrayal" up on all the platforms. I just put them up last year. So
yeah, assume it's had to go through and remaster them being older recordings and things like that, right?
yeah, I had them remastered. Yeah, the mix was really good, but it was just kind of tinny. It needed to be. So
Yeah, is it when you recorded? Did you record like home studio style, or you're just kind of in somebody's garage? Where did you guys record at?
like with my first band, we went to a friend of ours had a studio with isolated rooms and everything in his house, and then the other with Meltdown when we recorded Afterlife, we recorded the same place we did with the previous band, and then the Purple Room studio was off a house off of 71st Street in Lakeside. Like the whole entire basement was like isolated rooms for all the instruments and vocals and stuff. So my best friend that owned it, he passed away like 4 years ago, but he did all the recordings and did a killer job, you know. So not much needed to be done to them. I just discovered an older recording not too long ago from there, and it was like ran it through mastering software and it didn't even need mastered. So it was that good. So yeah, but he did the old DAD8s, which are kind of like ADATs, like the VHS looking tapes with the tracks on them. It was a smaller tape. So, and then bounced it to the computer and put it on Pro Tools when it first came out. So we've been using Pro Tools since like 2001, which most people know what Pro Tools is to record.
So, yeah, if they were recording it all, yeah.
Yeah.
The other stuff would be, I guess, most relatable to that would just call it reel to reel. Would have been the other stuff recorded
previous to that, yeah,
kind of a reel to reel style. Because once everything became digital, it's a whole big change up for the.
I mean, I can do everything that I want to from here now. You know, I don't like if I program the drums or whatever. I don't have a drummer yet. I just program the drums and stuff here after recording guitars and then lay down vocals. So you can do everything from home now. Don't really need go to a big studio anymore.
Yeah, everything can be done. Yeah, in your home. I always enjoyed that, being able to like just pull up my iPhone and go through, like basically mount it to the top of a microphone stand and just use it, because you can record record the vocals and then go through and record the guitar and then throw it into your software, and something like Pro Tools it'll do a lot of auto stuff. So, but I was using like Rock Band and things like that.
Yeah.
Back in the days. Yeah, a little more complicated, when it comes to being able to mix on it, because it's too simplified, so it doesn't have enough things to set on the right timing. So you really had to make sure when you were singing and playing that like everything had to be just so. Otherwise, you were re-recording because there was no fixing it in post.
Yeah.
It's something that's fantastic about Pro Tools. It's like I hear a little bit too much of the slide on the fingers on the guitar or something like that. You can kind of work that out, but
Yeah.
you can't do that on Rock Band.
or your pitch, like one song I did in the past year or so. I think I spent 8 hours on the vocals, and after that I was like, Quentin, fix what you can, because I am spent on this track. Like, I've been recording vocals for like 8 hours, and I'm a big perfectionist when it comes to vocals. So like, we get back to the rest of the story. I just kind of jumped forward there. You said that happens a lot.
Go back and forth, going all over. Yeah,
It's cool though. It's more authentic that way. It's not like a certain timeline. But Meltdown lasted for a little while, and then that they disbanded, and I joined a group that guy at the studio had recommended, and did a few songs with them, played like the student Battle of the Bands, the student club in Muncie at Ball State, because the guitarist went there, and had a blast doing that. And that lasted, and I'm not sure how long that lasted, but we went to Chicago and recorded at Hinge Studios, where my brother was working at the time, which did like Kanye West and Smashing Pumpkins and Candlebox, and a lot of Destiny's Child was one of those. We actually took this was Seven Against Thieves. I'm jumping into another band. One of my bass player beat Beyonce's score, I think, on Super Mario World, I think it was, or something like that. So she'd actually played the same game, which is pretty cool. We took Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child's spot because she had canceled. So the recording I found was the one that was recorded at the Purple Room and mixed and mastered at Hinge. And I did the vocals up there, I think. Redid the vocals up there. So that was a lot of fun. So I found that recording on an Indianapolis Music Net archive the other day. It sounded so fantastic. So that was cool to find. So
yeah, it's always good to find those old tracks that you've maybe even somewhat forgotten about.
Yeah. And then what was it? We played a show at the Founders Day in Mooresville. I think that was my last show with them, because we had an opportunity to do the Battle for Ozfest, and they said that they didn't want to do it. There was reasons as to why they didn't want to do it. And I was like, well, you got the wrong dude then. So the guy that showed up at the show, his name was Travis Kreider. He's actually the one I've got, hold on a second here, tattooed on my arm right here as a memorial. There's his headstone. And he came up to me and said, hey, I had answered an ad that they had put on IndianapolisMusic.net. Sorry, I'm getting a little kind of teary-eyed here for a second.
Take your time.
And he and I met, and we talked for like 3 hours. And he gave me a instrumental track of one of the songs they were working on. And I went the next day and recorded vocals for it at Omar's studio, the Purple Room, where I'd done all the other stuff before, and laid down the vocal tracks, and then met up with the other guitar player later in that week. And he said there wasn't anybody that came anywhere close to me as far as vocals go. And they had an opportunity at the time, they were saying, to like sign with Columbia Records. They just said they needed a different vocalist. So we were supposed to sign with them, and it just never went through. But I kind of had this, if you will, like carrot dangled in front of me the whole time in this band. Travis was the founder of Betrayed with a Kiss, which I'm sure you've probably heard of by now. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Maybe, but
Okay. But we went on to like play shows, just were packed out. I mean, we were playing at the Emerson, and people were standing in the lobby to watch us. So we still don't know how like the popularity grew to what it did, because there wasn't social media. MySpace had just started up, so I think that might have had something to do with like the fluctuation, but we had gotten radio play on the 90.9 at Ben Davis High School in Indianapolis. So I think that helped a little bit for popularity.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that Ben Davis High School radio, that really that brought a lot of bands to the forefront. Um, I can remember quite a few bands when I was in high school that they got brought to the forefront, and then, well, the Emerson Theater, decent little venue too.
Yeah.
So for a lot of like high school age and college age kids to go and or young people just to kind of gather up and go see their favorite groups.
Yeah.
It's kind of a shame on how torn down it is now, but it's pretty decent little place back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a lot of fun there. We played a lot of shows there, a lot of sold out shows. So, I mean, it was just kind of wild. People were getting tattoos of our band on them, and but like I said, that after Prisoners of Gravity, I kind of totally fell away from my faith. I still wrote about my faith, but I wasn't living the lifestyle that reflected that, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and, got into very heavy drinking. I mean, probably drinking a fifth of Jaeger a day or something like that. And just being out of my mind, lost everything, lost my place, lost my job, and I'd worked at the same place for like from 97 to 2009.
And I imagine that your family didn't deal with that all that well either.
No. And later in life, I thought they just didn't support my music. They didn't support the lifestyle. And I don't blame them, I don't blame them. But, had I just stayed sober and stayed, I never really got into drugs much. I mean, I might have experimented a little bit, but not like to an extent of like becoming an addict. But as far as the alcohol goes, free and slowly, I mean, companies were sending me free alcohol in the mail, so I mean, it got that kind of wild, but
so to become more of like not necessarily that you needed it, or not that you wanted it, but that you just kind of needed it after a while.
I think so, because I like just because I wasn't very social at first until I like started drinking. But I would never drink before a show because it would affect my performance. I would wait till afterwards and just get totally smashed every night. Like, I wake up and then I go to work, and then after a while, I couldn't get up for work because I was too hungover. So, but yeah.
So it takes your job. It takes. Does it take your family as well from you, or?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. I mean, I have a very good relationship with most of my family now. Me and my mom's relationship's stronger than ever now. I mean, we talk daily. Before, she thought I wasn't answering the phone because I was mad at her. It was because I was drunk. I said I didn't want you to hear that I was drunk.
Conviction, huh?
Yep.
And how was your? As you said, you had the wife and the daughter. How were they dealing with all this side of you?
Well, I kind of like. I think I, in essence, chose music over both them. She was never my wife, but like, I think, music was more important to me for some. But honestly, I was pursuing this so I could make a better life for my daughter, because I thought if I got the record contract, if I got these things, that I'd be able to provide everything, which we all know it doesn't really work like that anymore.
No.
But I thought it did. From my knowings, I thought that if I got far enough and the right person saw me, that I'd make it.
Yeah, it hadn't really been like that since probably probably the mid '90s was like the last time it really was like that, and it kind of tapered off after that,
Yep.
uh, due to the changes in music and well, the early two as the early 2000s wore on and we got into everything went digital, changed the
Yep.
entire game for musicians for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be right back, man.
Oh yeah, okay. So while we wait for him to come back, I want to hear some of your guys' thoughts on on his story so far. What do you what do you like and what do you is there any questions that you guys have for Jeremy when he gets back? Um, you know, you guys can interact here too, and you're more than welcome to speak up and add into the conversation. Uh, in the meantime, of course, I'm just gonna try to sell you some more shirts. So I'm gonna take you back into the shop. um, so, but yeah, while we're waiting for him to come back, I'll take you into the Trump Vance collection because that's the next one on the list here. You can get the Home Again 2 T-shirt where it's Trump as he's in the place of Kevin there, and it's instead of the robbers well that were in the Home Alone movie, you got the Biden and Obama coming after him. We got best part of waking up is Donald Trump as your president. They called JD Vance weird, so we went with the weird T-shirt. This is a pretty good seller actually. People love the weird T-shirt. The MAGA Frias Rex T-shirt. You know, because Trump was working at McDonald's, and we thought, why not put him on a T-Rex? Not for sure what made us do it. We just did it. Straight out of MAGA. That's you know, if Trump ever put out a record, we put it straight out of MAGA. We got the I don't really care, Margaret. JD Vance T-shirt. He was quoted as that as saying, "I don't really care, Margaret," and we just loved that. It was so funny, and yeah, we just love the way that came out. The Trump House Rock T-shirt. It's Trump's head on Elvis's body when he's doing the Jailhouse Rock. We got Daddy's Home, Trumpomania. You know, Trump's head on Hulk Hogan's body. That's a big seller too. The Trumpomania. That one goes quite a bit, and of course the that fateful day in Butler, Pennsylvania. We have the Fight T-shirt, and we also have the Mr. T T-shirt. All fantastic things there in our shop. So make sure you guys can go in and check it out. And our prices, I think the maximum price on our T-shirts is like $18. Some of them are as low as 14 or $15. So, and they're all just as comfy as the others. They're all made from the same material, same manufacturer, same distributor. So they're not coming from China. Everything comes from America. Everything's American made when it comes to our T-shirts and hats and stuff. So don't worry about China.
You almost sounded like Trump when you said that.
I actually do an impression of him quite often, and actually have went out and impersonated him a few times.
Did you even have a wig?
Yeah, we actually have for those who are regular Revolver Broadcasting viewers, they know that during the elections, we did a mock debate where a good friend of mine, Crystal, who does the agenda over here at Revolver Broadcasting, she played the role of Kamala Harris, and I played the role of Trump, and we did a debate.
That's great. That's great. Did you shave for that?
Yeah. Took the beard off, and yeah, it was a good time.
Is that up on your channels?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's on Revolver. Yep.
I have to check it out. It'll probably laugh pretty good.
For sure. Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah. I know I brought up the tattoos and stuff of Travis. He passed away in 2008 after he had a liver transplant, and we got one more showing with him after that. I know I'm kind of picking up where I left off.
Yeah, it's good.
But he had the liver transplant, and then in 2008, I got a call from the other guitar player that he had passed because the kidney, the medication that kept his liver from being rejected since his transplant, killed his kidneys, and we lost him. So that's when before that, I didn't really have a big problem with partying. I took a nosedive after he passed. You know what I mean? Like, I was still on the worship team. I was still like, but after he passed, I, for a while, I mean, up until probably for about 4 years, just like self medicating, if you will, trying to numb the pain of losing. It was one of my best friends,
Yeah.
and it was just ended up writing a whole album in honor of him after that, where his one of his close friends took over on guitar with him, and pretty much the closest you could possibly get to having him back in the band was having the other guy who was a close friend to him. Very similar, like stylistically wise playing and everything. She knows my voice is kind of cracking a little bit because I'm getting a little like talking about it. It's like
The emotions are still strong.
yeah. I still miss him to this day. He would. I worked at night while he was still alive, and when I got off of work, he'd be heading to work. He lived in Ellisville and drive to Indianapolis, and I'd be driving from like the airport to my place in Canby, and we'd talk for his whole ride up every day. Nobody knew that but me and him. We lived far apart, but we were very connected. So he's definitely a big reason as to why we got anywhere where we did, and that we were able to take one of his songs that he wrote, and it made it as far as MTV2, man. If people that don't know what MTV was, is music television, back when they had music.
Yeah.
So
Before the reality TV took over on it.
it was on Fuse too. I don't think that even exists anymore, does it?
No, it doesn't, but I remember it. Yeah. Yeah. Fuse was like it was yet another channel that did music. Because it was, of course, you had MTV, and then VH1, and then Fuse came along sometime after. It was like I think it lived on the airwaves for about 10 to 12 years.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry, I'm a little solemn here for a minute. We're all joking and kidding around because that subject. I'm like, oh man, here we go.
But that's to be expected when you're going through your entire story. We're riding the roller coaster with you. It's going to be the ups. There's going to be the downs.
Yeah. So about a year later, we did our first show. Came back with Craig on guitar. He goes by Shred, and it was really awesome. We had some of our close bands that we played shows with open up the show, and had a big after party afterwards, and the band continued to do really well. We hit the rock charts with like some of the major acts as an independent artist. We're the only one on the chart that was independent. Everybody from, like, people laugh, but everybody from Maroon 5 to Nickelback to Korn to Metallica, like, we were on the charts with all of them. So we started seeing some influx of like getting somewhere. I think I was blessed with everything but the monetary gain, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So the stats were there, but here's the weird part about it is you hit number one, right? The next week you want to hit it again. Then the next week you want to hit it. You're still like never like satisfied with just hitting number one time. You always want to keep the cycle. It's just like
Chasing it. Yeah. Chasing the dragon, so to speak.
yeah. So, but that band lasted. I was in that band till the guitar player and I got into it, and I said a few things that I shouldn't have said, very bad, to him. That ended me up in jail.
Mm.
And
So went a little beyond words, I take it.
no, it just was words, but I got in there for intimidation.
Mm.
Charges were later dropped, but I shouldn't have said what I said. I have to own that. But I was angry, and anger can get the best of you sometimes. But and then after I left the band, I got a call from him asking me if I'd fill in for a show because they had gotten another singer and asked me to fill in for the show. And I did, and it was at Old National Center with Chimera, which is a pretty big metal band. We played the show, and then ended up, he called me back a week or two later and said, hey, there was a label there that wants to talk to us, and they're affiliated with Sony and Universal. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So I thought that this was it, you know. So, but they put us on Pandora. They put us on all the platforms that we were unable to get ourselves. Blabbermouth, MTV's website, like as an artist. But once again, music television doesn't exist anymore.
Just recently though, so it was around.
Yeah,
just recently, but yeah,
it had reality shows years before that. It had more than reality shows. So
yeah,
but so that was 2013 that happened, and then I ended up leaving the band in 2014 because I literally lost my singing voice. I could not do it anymore. Like, you know, so I had to leave the band, and that was probably the most humbling experience because prior to that, my whole identity was me as a vocalist, you know?
yeah. It's always crushing to like you invest all of like who you think you are into like one thing, and then come to find out that you're actually a lot of different things, but you're not able to discover that until that one thing fails for a time.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I was diagnosed with bipolar 1 in 2012. I had my first episode after I got sober. So I think the whole time I had it and just didn't realize it because I was self-medicating the whole time for years. So it probably would have like surfaced its ugly head prior to that if I would have been sober. So, but I have a really good doctor now and on maintenance doses and everything is good. But like, if you notice, a lot of times I post stuff about mental health. I don't know if you see that or not, but
Yeah.
Very big advocate for it because it actually gave me a new lease on life, man. I've met a lot of cool people because of it. I've can relate with a lot of people who suffer from the same illness, you know, and it's I don't look at it as a death sentence. I think a lot of people do, you know. I look at more like, you know, I'm able to harness there's more I've researched it enough to know there's more benefits to it there is negative from my personal experience.
You can look at it as a curse, or you can look at it as I've got a different perspective than nobody else has. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had plenty of friends over the years that have different, what would be seen as mental illnesses. But then if you really take a look back, I was like, well, look at all this other stuff that you can do because of it. Like a good friend of mine, he's got a lot of different diagnoses, I guess, if there are multiple, right? A laundry list. I mean, it's actually easier to list what he doesn't have.
Right.
But because of that honed in perspective, like if you put him on a job site with some wood and tell him what you need, like he's just one of those people that can just build stuff.
Yeah.
And he can really focus in on it because everything else falls away.
Yeah.
It's like
hyper focus,
and he's really skilled.
Yeah.
So when he doubts himself, I'm like, look, dude, I mean, I don't know how many times you've been over my house and you've just been able to like fix stuff.
Right.
And it was like, that would have costed me thousands and thousands of dollars. And you're like, oh, we can do that for like $45. You know,
Yeah.
and without duct tape, right? Like, so,
Yeah.
uh, so
Or zip ties.
yeah. Yeah, because I'm one of those, like, if I can zip tie it and duct tape it, I'm on my way.
You need to come over and meet my father-in-law then.
That my neck is red if you check.
That's funny.
Yeah, certainly you could look at it as a curse, or you could look at it as a blessing, because it gives you that specific perspective and allows you to see things that other people wouldn't necessarily see.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have days like I'm kind of a little more on the depressive side today. I don't know why. Like, and my mom was just like, "Hey, you've had a couple things happen the past couple days. It's kind of you had a big get together for the birthdays Saturday with like 30, 40 people. That was kind of a high, and then nobody's here, and then some other things happened that I won't get into. But I just kind of woke up going, man, I got to do this. I got to do that. Like, and I was very excited about this show, because, I haven't like told my story, haven't put it out to the world. I think I did at a church one time. It was on a live stream, but like actual, like sit down and talk about it and be like, so for like a good amount of time after the diagnosis, I just felt like paranoid. I was so medicated, I was so medicated that I just kind of existed. I just told my dad one day, I said, I just kind of, some days I just feel like I just kind of exist, and that's about it. Didn't really do much, didn't really create. Like, I have a very big, now I'm very big, like in creativity. Like if I have an idea, I'm going to put it together. I'm going to make something out of nothing pretty much, and a lot of times it happens with the keyboard or a buddy coming over with a guitar, or like making graphics, or just doing things. Sometimes just sit on my hard drive, but just making something, so.
Yeah, sometimes it's pen to paper, isn't it?
Yep.
I find that because a lot of people they like to down journaling and stuff, right? But I always encourage our folks their morning word to say, when you're praying, journal what you pray about, But you can do that with all the aspects of your life, but you can actually watch the progression of where you were and then where you get to. You go back and read your old old prayers or old whatever it is, lyrics to songs or poems, or maybe you just wrote about the day, and like as you do it more and more and more, you'll realize that you have a style.
Yeah, I came across something I had put in my notes on my phone the other day, just on the day that my daughter was getting married, a letter to her, and I was like, wow, I remember writing that, and it's just kind of cool. Like, this includes you, and I hope this doesn't weird you out or anything, but the area I live in is very close to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've already talked about that. I said a prayer, a specific prayer, because I believe God wants us to be specific in our prayers. It's kind of a hard word for me to say sometimes, but I prayed that He would bring people closer around me. So when I saw that you were in Beach, where you were or whatever, it's on your profile. So
yeah, it's public knowledge.
It's probably not your street or anything, but the general area. Like I live just close by, so if you will. But like, there's been numerous. I had a friend move from the north side to here. I had a friend that lived 5 minutes down the road that I didn't know lived 5 minutes. Another friend, like all of a sudden, all these people that I'm like talking to, they're like, "We should hang out sometime." And I'm like, "Where do you live?" And they tell me, and I'm like, "Whoa, what?" Like when we really ask God, what for things from our heart, not selfish reasons, but like, people just be close by enough to say, "Hey, you want to grab a cup of coffee? Do you want to grab a bite to eat?" Like you and I could be like, "Hey, hungry? Let's go get some food." You
Yeah.
know, it would be nothing. We're gonna eat anyway. We're gonna get a cup of coffee or something anyway. Like, why not? You want to come over to the house and have a cup of coffee? I got a coffee bar. You know what I'm saying? Like, just certain things. And I found out one of my cousins lives 10 minutes from here, and I'm like, so like multiple friends. A friend
I'm
called,
hearing band in my head is what I'm saying.
huh?
I'm hearing band in my head, another band.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. I know a singer. but it's but it's just funny like how he works, because I randomly I was out last Saturday till late, um, and my phone rang, and it was a friend of mine who I hadn't spoken to in a while, and I was like, "Well, let's meet up sometime. Where you live?" And he said he lives right down the street from you. And I'm like, he's like, "No way." I'm like, "I live 5 minutes from there." So like, it's just odd. It's just one of those things where you start seeing your prayers come into fruition, and it just strengthens your faith because it's more than coincidence. When it is like one time you might be like, "Oh, that's just happenstance," but then it gets to be like, "Okay, this is crazy," you know. Um, we went back to like when I moved from a certain place to a certain place. I wouldn't be where I'm at if I hadn't moved to that certain place. I wouldn't be in this house if I hadn't moved that certain place. I wouldn't met certain people. I wouldn't, like it's just crazy how it all works out. It all started out badly and ended up being good. So,
Yeah, we
but
probably. I'm guessing with the music connection, we probably know a lot of the same folks from over the years too. We won't
yeah,
necessarily
probably.
put them all out on online, but while we're on the stream, but certainly we could talk, either just after the show or another
Oh
time
yeah,
about that.
oh
But
yeah,
so I'm certain we know a lot of the a lot of the same people, especially with the music scene, because the music scene when it comes to Indiana, a lot of people just know everybody. As Indiana
yeah,
is just, like big with the music scene. Everybody just seems to know everybody at least sometime or another, one way or another. And even the bands that were, um, you know, 5, 10 years older, or different age groups, they all seem to everybody seems to kind of know each other one way or another through connections. It's always a that was it. 6 or 7 degrees from Kevin Bacon type thing.
yeah, yeah. I
Everybody,
saw where you had Bradley Walker on your show not too long ago, or something like that.
yeah, we grew up together.
Him and I used to hang out back in the day when he was in that Ecstasy band.
Yeah, yeah,
I talked to him on a fairly regular basis, actually. So
yep. Him and I grew up together since we were small kids. Our mothers were good friends, and
yeah,
yeah,
it's looking like I'm looking through mutual friends. It's like, are you from the Morrisville area? I kind of wonder that sometimes.
no, no, uh,
Okay,
yeah. I'm a I'm a South Side of Indy kid, inner
okay,
city kid. Yeah,
okay.
mentioned Fountain Square, so Twin Air was the kind of my
Oh
stomping
wow.
grounds.
Yeah, I got some clothes stolen out of that laundromat before.
That was a common thing there.
I was like, it was a work shirt. It's like, why would you take a work shirt?
They'll just take anything, whatever they get their hands on.
I went over to get a tan and came back and clothes were gone. I don't tan very easily either.
I would have guessed.
The red hair give it away.
Yeah, my ginger brother from another mother.
Yeah, it was a bad move.
Yeah, coming out doing this. It's a little bit of love string. Goodness.
Mhm. Yeah, a little red in the face. I did. So
So you had this diagnosis, and but you learned coping skills and how to get together with people over the
Yeah.
years. What was the did you just started because you said you lost your voice too, so I'd imagine that stepping away from music was um, something you had to do. And so, what did you do during this time?
Well, I started working at hotels. Um, I went through the vocational rehab and got started working at the Wyndham Hotel. I was a manager there for a while, and then after that, I got sick again, um, just because I didn't have the right meds and had to leave that job. Um, Pretty much, um, try to get involved with church, try to get involved with different churches and worship teams, and like play keys. Some of the worship teams I just play keys on because I could still play keys, and so could somewhat do a little bit of backing vocals, but I couldn't do like the
Yeah,
front of house type deal. So I mean, it was there, but it wasn't there. If that makes sense,
yeah,
like good enough to be in the background, but not good enough to be singing a full song.
understand
So
that.
which I think that's when you know lately I've been focusing my lyrical content to be more based on faith than anything, and I think that's what God wants me to do. You know, um, there's not that span of time. There wasn't a whole lot that happened. You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of just existing for a while until I got on the right regimen. I started hosting a bipolar support group twice a week. People all the way from Philippines to England online
Oh
through
wow,
like Google Meet, and I did that twice a week on Mondays and Saturdays for a what 3 or 4 years, I think.
Hmm.
Um, and then life just got busy to where I couldn't, you know, and I still met a lot of really cool people doing that I would not have met otherwise. And that's what I'm talking about. Like when you have something happen in your life that seems awful, and there's other people in your life that struggle with the same things, it's very comforting. You really connect, and you really like on a deeper level, because it's like, hey, they'll be like, hey, I'm feeling a little manic today, and like, oh man, have you tried this? This is what I do. Not a doctor's. It's like, like with me, if I'm feeling some sort of way, I will be like, okay, I'm going to go take a shower because I know that's going to help with the blood flow in my brain. That's going to help me feel better. You know, and as far as breathing technique, box breathing, stuff like that,
yeah,
that you can do to calm yourself down. You know, and someone's like, hey, I'm kind of depressed today. It's like, I'm here if you want to talk. My inbox and my phone is always open. You just totally like. I think I became more. I was doing more than I realized. Doing that, people were like, "Thank you so much for doing that all these years." It was, but it was something that I needed. But to them, it was me hosting it so they could do it. So look, but we developed a really good friendship, all of us. And there just got to be like a core 4 or 5 people, you know. Then we got connected with a life group at the Creek. I don't know if you know that church or not.
yeah. My wife and I actually attended there for quite a few years.
Yeah, yeah. I really like Dan Hamill. He's a really good pastor. And then our life group dissolved, and now we're kind of in the middle of like I've been visiting Church 52, which I've really liked so far, off of Brookville Road,
Yeah,
about 8 minutes from here. So one of the pastors there I know, So, but he was teaching a Sunday school class, I think, the service that I was going to. So,
Yeah, good people over there, from what I've
but
heard.
yeah, but yeah, after the leaving the music, man, life just kind of took a halt, really, and then I had to really find my identity in Christ. I had to really like focus on my faith, my devotions, my get a regimen to where dog's barking.
It's okay.
Get a regimen to where you have a routine to stay in the Word. Because I'm going to try to watch your stuff more often because that'll give me something to kind of focus on in the mornings.
Yeah, we Sterling and I are 9 a.m. Eastern every Monday through Saturday. So we're almost always here. There's a rare occasion that we'll miss because but we're pretty faithful to it. So
Very awesome. Very awesome.
Yeah, and we have a lot of good folks that are in the chat all the time too. Surprised that some of them are not here tonight. Like we have a good guy named Steve and a lady named CFAM, and we have they're regulars in there, and um, yeah, they get involved in the live chat, and it's just a good group of people.
Awesome.
Supporting each other all the time. So yeah, and everybody talks with everybody. Even like sometimes it's Sterling and I are doing whatever we're doing Bible study, but live chat they're all just kind of talking to each other. Sometimes because we'll look over there and see if anything pertains to us, but sometimes they're just all talking to each other.
Yeah.
So it's a good time, and we do expository Bible study with it. So it's verse by verse, chapter by chapter. We try to bring in full context. So Sterling's a little better at the bringing in every aspect than I am, but we try to do not only the context of the entirety of the chapter, but the historical context, the cultural context, and the theological context. So everything gets married together, so that we're not misinterpreting or saying, adding to or taking away from the scripture. So
very cool. So I think like from 2013 to about 2025, I didn't do much music at all. And then one day I was in the shower. I forget what I was listening to, but I started singing along and the voice came back. Like just that. Full force. Like stronger than it has ever been before. Like, and I was like, what just happened? And then my guitar player from Afterlife, which is back in 2000, hit me up. I was like, hey, man, I got this guitar riff. And we hadn't talked in like 20 years. We saw each other's stuff on Facebook and just kind of lived vicariously through, whatever. And we ended up hooking up and ended up doing a song. And then doing another song and doing another song and doing another song. So we just came out with a new one last month called Chemical Hallelujah, and that's probably the most bare bones, like all out there, like basically talking about mental health and keeping faith while going through the struggles. Because when you have mental health issues, some days you don't feel like even being here. I'm not saying I'm suicidal or anything. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying like just there's some days you just don't want to be here. Just Lord, take me out. I mean, so but
what one could wonder if King David was in some of that headspace too, because if you look back at the Psalms, I mean, he'll go from my God, why have you forsaken me to the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want.
Yeah.
That's the same guy. Yeah, but you wouldn't know that unless we were told that.
Yeah, but I've never been one to be that dark and want to like end things. It just gets to be just like, I can't take any more of this. Like, I can't deal with any more of the feeling this way. And like, and a lot of times it's probably, a lot of times I think you want to blame it on the illness, but sometimes life just stinks. You
Yeah.
know, there are aspects of life it just aren't fair. You know, and the other day I was just telling guys, it's not fair that I have to deal with this. It's not fair. And there's certain aspects of my life that I'm just like, I wish they'd just fix themselves. And I've done everything I can to fix them, and I can't do it anymore. So I just gave it up to him. I said, "This is yours, Lord." You know, but
Yeah, I noticed you have a common thread here. You leaning on other people of faith, and that is something you're definitely supposed to be doing. I mean, Scripture says repeats it, so we know it's important. Bear with one another your burdens,
yeah, yeah,
and that's how we know that we're doing the right thing when we lean on our brothers and sisters in Christ. And we got battle buddies is what we because Sterling and I we're definitely battle buddies. We got Alan, although we joke that he's not here a lot, can lean on him anytime, and he knows he can lean on us. Uh, Shout out to
yeah.
him. He's watching somewheres on the
Alan Squatch. My dad is my dad actually goes Sasquatch hunting.
Well, we'll have to take him Alan squatching because it's a whole other experience,
I'll get a hold of him tonight. I'll be like, my buddy Josh wants to take you out Alan Squatching. He'll be like, what is that?
We'll wear our T-shirts and everything. But yeah, you always have to have those guys that you guys or gals that you can lean on like that, that are closer than a brother or sister, that you can tell them anything and they don't judge. They just listen and you go through the
Wow.
motions with. But the other thing was I noticed you talk about like all these adversities. There's a common thing that gets said in church all the time, and I think it's just because it's not in Scripture anywhere. People will say, "Well, God will never give you anything more than you can handle." That's a lie. That's a straight up lie. It's not in Scripture. One, but also two, He definitely will give you more than you can handle. Definitely give you more. Why does He give you more than you can handle?
Because he'll provide a way out.
He wants you to lean on Him, right?
Yeah.
He's 1,000-foot crutch for a reason.
Ha! Throughout the rock fist.
Yeah, that's right. But people would say, "Oh, you have that 1,000-foot crutch of yours, don't you?" Be like, yeah, I need Him. So do you, actually. But if you fail to acknowledge Him, it's not going to turn out well for you.
Yeah. Rumblebot thanks me for the follow. I just noticed that. I was like, what?
Yeah. We have a bot that helps us keep track of new followers and new chatters and things like that.
It's not letting me. There we go. I'm gonna try it. I've got Discord. I'm just gonna before I forget.
Oh, you're working on that too? Yeah. But
I have Discord, but I never use it. So I'm gonna accept the invite and wait if I'm human. There we go.
Yeah, we have a pretty good community over there on Discord too. Folks, they're good on here on Rumble and YouTube and things of the sort. But
wow,
they get a little deeper on Discord. Sometimes they share their prayers. They share the music they're into. They vent trauma. They share their pet photos. Yeah, memes. Cool. We share memes with each other.
Cool. Well, now I have somebody following Discord, and I think you're maybe one of the only ones that's even active. That's not like a company or something. I think
I'll have to introduce you to some of our good friends, like Beyond Formal, who was in the chat there early on. I don't know if he's still hanging out or not, but if he is, he's definitely a good one to go follow here on Rumble and YouTube. He's got a pretty good Discord channel. He's in with some other guys, but yeah, Beyond Formal, good guy. If you guys aren't already following Beyond Formal, definitely go over and follow him and subscribe to him, because fantastic person. I met him through a mutual friend, and then, yeah, we just been good friends ever since. Good dude.
Cool. I got distracted there for a second. I joined it that way I wouldn't forget. So
right on. Yeah,
I'm one of those people. If I don't do it now, I'm not going to do it ever. I've got 7 songs waiting for me to record vocals to, and they've been sitting there for a minute.
Uh-huh.
The guitar player will be like, "I want you to finish that one song." I'm like, "Which one?" The one that's like this, and I'm like, "That's most of them."
Narrow it down for me. Yeah.
He's like, "The drop A one." I'm like, "You're totally in drop A all the time now." He got a baritone guitar, which is like the Stain 7 Dust tuning. Yeah, so it's pretty awesome. I mean, it fits my vocals a lot better than before, I think. So
Yeah, I think that's why I like my acoustics better than I do my electrics, because it's the same kind of thing where it's just a little bit more that that rounded sound, well-rounded sound. It's heavy. It's a little heavier, you know. It's good. Yeah, you got a certain kind of vocals. It's better for that range.
Are you a singer?
Oh yeah, same for me. Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you have anything I can listen to?
Yeah. I could send you some links after the show for sure.
Cool.
A lot of my recordings are from like 2007, 2009, things like that. But I think I re-recorded one in like 2012 or something like that. But yeah, like a lot of basement recordings, a lot of early iPhone recordings, like iPhone 3, I think it was iPhone 4.
Well, I had an iPhone 4. That was my first iPhone. So.
But yeah, those are good old days there for sure. I send you a few of my old music posters and things that, you know, just like you and I were talking about pre-show. You making those posters, learn how to make them on your own. I did that too. Yeah.
Yeah, my first time of making a poster of some sort was Adobe Photo Deluxe before Photoshop. And you had to use the hand scanner to scan the photo. The rolling scanner. It wasn't like you had to do it like they had to do it like this, just like, you know. So, but I lose track of my thoughts sometimes. I was going to say something I forgot. Oh yeah, my first recording, this will show my age, was a 4-track cassette tape with vocals, guitar, bass, and drums.
Nice.
And my old bass player said he still has a copy. I'm like, you gotta get that to me. I will totally like remaster and remix it and everything. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe even like go through and do like get together with some guys and do like an updated version of it, and then kind of like do them side by side and see where you were and where you are now.
Yeah. I probably sound a lot better now as a vocalist than I did when I was 18. You know.
Yeah, I think we all do. We develop those. As long as you don't get into bad habits, you've developed those better ways of fluctuating. And
I got one of them.
Learning how to do like a little more like, tea, warm tea, hot tea, some honey, you know.
I used to just before most of my recording session, I'd drink that Arizona green tea with the honey in it. That was what I'd drink a lot of times before recording. That's really worked out nicely. So
that's some good stuff. Yeah, you don't have to pre-mix it either. It's already there.
I think it's still made. They still make that, don't they? The green Arizona can with the honey.
Yeah, they got the can and they got the big jugs too. Yeah, still
Ooh,
1 gallon jugs.
Nice.
Well, the best thing about like a 1 gallon jug is if you have that, you could pour it into a single like coffee mug, microwave it up, and then you have hot tea with honey.
Ooh, that's a good idea. I like your way of thinking, sir. I like your way of thinking.
Yeah, whatever's
I
the
never,
cheapest way, right?
I never thought about that, man. That's an excellent idea. Thank you. I'm going to use that.
You're welcome. Yeah, I did that a million times.
Nice. That's so awesome. I used to use that Entertainer's Secret stuff. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, I have a few cans of that around the house too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, I mean, whether it's music or then doing podcasting, like sometimes, like I'm a little raspy right now.
We've been talking for almost 2 hours, bro.
Well, I also had the pod this morning, and then
That's true. Yeah,
but 'cause well, I do Sundays a lot of times. Even though I say I take Sundays off, I end up going on somebody else's channel and hanging out. So pretty much 7 days a week. So yeah, and sometimes it's morning and nights. And sometimes Saturdays are like I'll have 3 different shows because I have Morning Word, and then every other week I have a show called Deprogrammed over on another channel called Eternal Affairs, and then I have this show for people on Saturday nights. So yeah, the whole day is like streaming and talking. So you need those lozenges because otherwise you end up starting to sound like a little bit like Alex Jones,
yeah. That dude's something else.
You know what I don't like? I don't like him turning the freaking frogs gay.
Didn't they like ban him from YouTube or something like that?
Well, no, he's actually I don't know if he's back on YouTube or he's back on YouTube. It was X brought him back, but his studio recently, InfoWars, the studio and the name, that's all been taken away from him through those court cases that were tied up for years. They finally caught up with him, and he had to get out. But then he just went into a home studio and reopened the Alex Jones Network website and moved all the archives over and everything.
Oh, that's wild.
He just went into a new hosting site and
he's got followers, man.
Yeah.
He got followers.
Can't stop a guy like that, you got determination.
Nope.
And it sounds like that you got some of that determination yourself, because you said that. So after you're kind of coming out of the fog of just existing, so to speak, get your vocals back, and you start playing again. What did that feel like, and then
Dude,
what did that look like?
it felt like I was alive again. You know what I mean? Like we haven't played out or anything. We're just doing like studio projects, but like getting back up at the microphone and belting it out and feeling it, and just like the rawness, the angst, the emotion, the pain, all the stuff where the lyrics come from, and putting it into like song for people to like. I'm getting messages, people saying, "Man, that song really resonated with me," and I'm like, "Thank you for listening." Like, not writing them off, but knowing that people are like gravitating towards the content that's going out there, and just being able to do it again. It's like, thank you, God, for giving me my voice back. Thank you, God. Like, I thank Him every day that I'm able to do it again. Because that was a hard, like, when you go over a decade of not being able to do something you've done most of your adult life, which I had, from pretty much singing in bands from 17 on to like 36, I think. So will that be a decent amount of time? I was trying to do the math. I couldn't do the math there quick enough. But like, to be able to do it again, be able to create again, to be able to like express how I'm feeling. Not saying I didn't write stuff down before, but be able to go back and look at things that I've written before and put them into words, put them into song, and like, I mean, put out 6 to 8 songs. I did 2 collaborations. I think I did 6 songs with Lykinthrope, which you can see right there in the background. You have to customize bedding for the studio. So if somebody records here, they can just crash there. So it works. Half the time I'm crashing out down here too. So, but it just, not saying that music kept me alive makes me feel more. Maybe it does. It just being able to have that drive to create again. And if I mean, I'm happy with just a few monthly listeners. It doesn't have to be a huge number because it's not about numbers really. It really isn't. If one person can resonate with the song, that's all that matters. You're Someone commented that the latest song has been getting them through a really hard time. And to know that is enough for me, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know I can't listen to the most recent track without crying because it's so transparent, so like raw, you know.
Yeah. Sometimes those songs just there's those songs that just even if only a few people hear them, there's a out of those few people, there's always that one that's like this song meant everything.
Yeah.
Um, definitely been in that situation before too, where it was after a show at the Emerson actually, and I was in a weird spot because I'd never really signed autographs before, but people were coming up. It was I opened for Project 86 of all bands.
Nice.
Um, and you know, I'm the guy with the acoustic guitar, so like it was like metal band, me, metal band, Project 86.
Uh, I was probably at that show. I think I was at that show.
And so, I'm up there kind of, between songs, I'm kind of doing a little bit of preacher mode or whatever, telling people about Jesus and to pursue your dreams and things like that. But um, you get out there and I'm signing people's wristbands, and this one young girl, probably just old enough to be in the venue, because it was an adult show. It wasn't an underage show like most, because Emerson has the all ages shows and stuff.
Mm.
But she was probably just old enough to be there, and she told me about one of my songs, and she's like, "Oh, this song is everything," and would you sign my wristband? Of course, I signed her wristband a couple different times, and we took pictures, and she left just smiling as big as ever. And I'm like, that meant more than any time where, and I think you agree. It's like just the way you're hearing what you're talking about. It's like it means more to you, the connection with the person, than for it to go out and make you tons of money and all the different you could have the mansion, the whatever. That doesn't mean a hill of beans if it never actually touches anybody's heart.
Right. I know the first time, and we'll go back to Betray with a Kiss, when people started getting like tattoos of the band, you really realize that your music is doing more than just like, people said the music like kept them from unaliving themselves. It kept them from like going to a really dark place. And meant a lot to them. And while I wasn't living the right life, a lot of people didn't see that. And the lyrics were like very spiritual, very
Grounded.
I just wasn't. So I think he was still using that in the meantime. And so none of that was done in vain. Looking at it, for a while I was like, forget that band. I don't want anybody to know about that band. And now I'm like, I'll tell everybody about that band because I'm proud of the music that we created. Betray with a Kiss. Got 2 albums out everywhere. And still there. And we had a party Saturday, and I removed the vocals from one of the tracks and sang it at the party. So it was cool. Kind of felt like I was back on stage with the band again. It was really neat. So come to terms with that not being a thing anymore, and not saying it can't be in the future. just had some things happen with some of the members that probably won't happen again, but never know. So
Yeah.
if they're watching, I say hi and I love you guys. So no harm, no foul on anything. I think a lot of times the enemy wants us to have bitterness and stuff. Be like, forget that dude. He said this or did that. And it's like we're all flawed individuals and make mistakes, So
Yeah, forgiveness is a hard thing for a lot of people. They hold on, and then they actually make it part of their identity that they haven't, that they can't forgive, and then we go back to because you're talking about being a man of faith and everything. So it's like we go to Scripture and what did Jesus say about it?
Right.
And he said, forgive others as you would have me forgive you. So it's like, well, then I better get over it when I don't like what somebody said or something somebody did, because I need to forgive them. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to let them back into your life necessarily, but it does mean that you have to forgive them so that you can move past it and not let it become your identity or a part of it, because something that everybody realizes once they get most people realize a certain part of their lives, they go, well, I'm not hurting anybody but myself when I hold on to this.
Right. Forgiveness is for you, not them. Really. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That person may have no idea that you even have a grudge. They have no clue.
Yeah, you build something up in your mind that they're really upset with somebody, and then you go to talk to them and they're like, oh dude, sorry, I didn't even know.
Dude, there was one time, and that brings up a good story. There was one time that I had put on a show, and this is back in I don't know, 2008 or something like that. And this band was from out of town. They said their manager had called and said, hey, can you put them on the show? And I said, sure. I didn't realize that they were driving from Evansville. So when they got here, I'm like, I thought you guys just never showed up. And the guy was super ticked at me, cussing me out 9 ways to Sunday or however many times you can do it. So that ended, that kind of whatever. Years later, that same band gets booked with us. Right? And I'm like, I'm thinking the guy remembers me. I'm thinking the guy I went up to him. I said, hey, man, I don't know if you remember me, blah, blah. I don't remember the exact words I said. And he said, actually, I don't remember you because I had a brain tumor and it got removed. So I was literally removed from his memory.
Wow.
So, isn't that wild? To think the guy's I didn't go up to him for hours. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go up to him and say something. But he didn't remember the show. He didn't remember being there. He didn't and it was definitely him.
Wow.
So he's like, sorry, I don't remember you. I'm like, and he said he had a brain tumor.
Pulled the reverse kindergarten cop on you.
Yeah.
It was a tumor.
It was a tumor.
Oh goodness.
It's just wild when stuff like that happens, because you're like, and I always say I never return evil for evil. This is probably fun. When I was working at the hotel, just a funny story to throw in some humor, because we got serious and kind of
all the ups and downs.
Yeah. So this lady was so rude to me. I mean, she was hateful, and I just smiled, well, I'll help you as much as I can. And she's like, here, blah, blah, blah. Just going off on me. And she gets her room key from the other clerk who had her key, because she was like, I know my name's in there. It wasn't in her name. Her friend had held the key for her at the other desk. And so it was probably an hour later. The phone rang, and I answered it. It was her. Like, hey, how you doing? She goes, I'm stuck in the elevator. She was calling for the phone in the elevator, and I'm like, out of the 407 rooms, that lady got stuck in the elevator. I'm like, yeah, God's got a good sense of humor.
He does.
It's like, wow, out of all the people that gets, and it took them an hour to get her out. She was really, really nice to me after that.
I'll bet. Thank you for answering the phone.
I know. I could have let somebody else. I'd be like, sorry, wrong number.
You're stuck where? Oh, I can't see nobody.
Maintenance won't be able to be there for a couple more days.
Yeah. They're out of town right now.
It was great, though.
The maintenance men are related and they're visiting grandma.
But yeah, back to like me and the guitar player getting back together and doing stuff after 20 years. It's kind of like we picked up where we left off. You know, the relationship is like solid, man. It's so great. Like his family hangs out with my family, me and my wife, and his family. We just love them. So, Megan and his wife are like besties now. Like, it's just awesome. It's just a, a really good bond between all of us. You know, we'll hit him up and be like, "Hey, we miss you guys. We haven't seen you in months. It's like we used to hang out every week. It's like things got busy. You know, it happens. People get busy. You know,
Yeah.
and people have priorities and stuff. And like, I used to be like, well, why am I not one of them? Sometimes, and you get kind of like, you'll hit somebody up and they'll leave you on red and like, are we good? You know. I think everybody faces that sometimes. You message somebody and they just read it and don't say anything back. You're like, oh, you know, even if you're saying hi. And someone said to me, they're like, they may think it's a hacker. It's like, you got to see that I'm very active online. I'm not hacked. So,
yeah, sometimes it's just like you get too many messages when you're doing something or you're busy or you'll get it, you'll look at it and be like, oh, I'll definitely hit them back later because I'm in the middle of X, Y, or Z. And then I've had that so many times. And then when I get back to them, you know,
well, it's like with you. It's like with you. I totally meant to send that email like a couple days ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot to send it. You know, so
yeah, you get moved on to that next thing or whatever, and then it's just kind of, but that, you know, you see my response was like, because I a younger me would have been like upset or like, who does that help, you know?
Right.
Say, I understand life happens, and so that's what we do, and so we just go, okay, well, we're in this particular situation. Roll with the punches. I always tell it to young people, say pivot and move forward.
Yeah.
Whatever your situation is, just pivot and move forward. You know that from playing music, man.
Pivot. Friends.
Yeah. Yeah. But it can never hold more true. Well, with music is another aspect, you know, because you know, you get going and then somebody, you know, doesn't remember a certain line or maybe a guitar riff isn't quite there, or you just like, oh, well, what can we do a little bit different? You know, how can we move around this until we've got it all figured out? And eventually, sometimes it morphs into something else completely different. And you're going, oh, well, this is actually better anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think the most popular song that Betrayed with Kiss had was rewritten like vocally like 3 times. So the demo had a completely different vocal, like same words, but like the words were repeated more and more lines were added to the next version. So
yeah,
it actually turned into something better. I was like, okay, it sounds better this way.
So yeah, you found it evolved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, we're waiting for him to come back. How are you guys enjoying the show so far? Do you guys have any questions? Because I know that we've been talking for quite a while. Once again, looking to see if you guys have any questions for Jeremy. Maybe maybe you have something you just want to say. Maybe he's touched on something that you found quite interesting. Be sure and let us know as we get into this final hour here. And hey, if you guys haven't already, I know that I've already showed you some stuff from the shop, but I can't resist. I can't resist showing you guys the shop again. If you go to revolverbroadcasting.com, click on shop, it's going to take you into this. Once again, you get to shop like a hot shot. And let's see here. What other? Oh, well, yeah. Let's go into the Morning Word collection because there's a lot of stuff there. So if you're somebody who likes the Bible, and if you haven't already seen the Morning Word, Sterling and I do it Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern. And it's always a good time. We go through the Bible. And so we have these t-shirts and hats. They make Bible study great again. We also have the Make Bible Study Great Again hat in black and gold. You'll see it here in a second. We have Prayer Lives Matter hats and mugs and t-shirts. We have the Make Bible Study Great Again toboggan as well. The Morning Word a rooster. If you know him as Colonel Cluck. If you're a regular viewer of the show, you can also get Morning Word on t-shirt and mug and things like that. There's the black and gold. I wear that hat on a regular basis while we're doing Morning Word. In fact, I wore it this morning. We have the Jesus He Is Risen t-shirt, RIZZIN. Fantastic Jesus playing basketball. And I also have the Don't Talk Trash, Proverbs 18:6. If you guys read that verse, you'll know exactly why it says don't talk trash. The Real Ghost Rider is Jesus riding on a motorcycle, and it's also got a good Bible verse on the back from 2 Corinthians. We have the Pull It Out by the Roots t-shirt. That's Sterling's favorite, probably. Where the, if you have you have a speck in your eye, and the guy, or we have a log in your eye, and the other guy has a speck in his eye. Don't go trying to pick that speck out before you get the log out of your own. So you want to pull it out by the roots. It's a scripture. I kind of butchered it, but you get the point. And of course, Colonel Cluck on a t-shirt. He's on the front and back. I own that t-shirt as well. And yeah, it's one of those conversation starters because people's like, what's the rooster all about? They always want to know. So yeah, lots of good, fun and fantastic t-shirts, hats, mugs, things of the sort over there at revolverbroadcasting.com. And I would highly, highly recommend you guys go over there and buy some stuff. Like I said, t-shirts are pretty cheap. We're on some a lot of occasions we're cheaper than a trip to Walmart, and they come within 2 weeks maximum. Our distributor's really good at getting their t-shirts out, and t-shirts and hats and mugs and stuff. I know the last mug I ordered, I got it within 2 days, and I didn't even expedite it. So pretty fantastic. And all American. Like everything's made in America. You're not going to find made in China on anything. Everything's made in America, and all the clothing is really nice and soft and just comfy. And I know how everybody likes to, a good comfy t-shirt, a good comfy hoodie. And yeah, buy several of those today. We'd really appreciate it. Of course, my screen is a little flapped out back, and you see my guitars and stuff there in the background. Yeah, not much I can do about that. But anyway, thanks for sticking around here. And now Jimmy is back. Your microphone's still underneath the muting. Yeah, there we go.
That's how they clicked it.
Welcome back.
A hoodie because it was getting a little cold down here.
I was just selling these guys some hoodies. They tell them to go on to revolverbroadcasting.com, clicking on shop, and tell them.
Do you have any zip up ones? Because that's what I prefer.
We'll have some probably here when fall comes around. We have all we have is pullovers right now, but we used to have one in our old shop that had the Revolver Broadcasting brand on it. That was a zipper hoodie, but we had to change distributors because that distributor, well, they just took forever. They were not a good distributor, and these guys are everything comes from made in America, comes from America, and yeah, everything comes quickly within 2 weeks. So
Nice.
I was just telling everybody, I was like, last mug I ordered, I got it within 2 days.
Nice.
So yeah, pretty quickly for everything, everything custom, So don't forget to go over there and check that out, guys. So yeah, so now you're doing the band Lykinthrope, right?
Yep. Yep.
You're continuing to make music, and then so what else with that are you doing working on now?
Right now, we got about 7 songs I'm working on vocals for that I put off. Just haven't been in like the maybe mental state to like focus on that. But we got most of the guitar tracks and everything else is all finished. It's just up to me to finish it. So like I can record myself, but I prefer to have an engineer recording it because then I can focus on the vocals and not have to jump from mic to computer, mic to computer. You can probably relate. Like,
Yeah.
it's way more enjoyable for me to have like an engineer buddy here, like doing the controls,
Yeah,
So-
that way you're not doing two things at once. Yeah.
Yeah, I think eventually we will have a full band, but we're not really concerned about it right now. We're just putting music out there. People are enjoying it. I mean, the streams are enough to where it's starting to generate some revenue, not like an extensive amount, but like streams in the thousands, which is good.
Yeah.
It's for a new project.
It's always good. And then that's it. You have the music thing going, and then what are some of the other projects you got going on? Because it seems like you have quite a bit going on.
Yeah, have a radio show on Fridays on Wild Dogs Radio called Diffuse, and it's basically independent artists. This week I'm going to be focusing on Loud Pack Music, which is a rap label, I think, and I think they're all rap, but like have some sort of rock elements to them. I'm going to do a block, like a 20-minute block of their stuff, and then play other stuff that's submitted. And last week we had about 750,000 listeners. So not too bad. A week prior to it was like over 900,000. So reaching the masses, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of blown away at it. I'm like, I'm just some dude in his basement, like recording the radio show, So like, I don't know where they all come from, but they love it. So
Well, you got to remember to send them over to your interview too, so you have that.
I will. I will.
That way
Definitely.
maybe they can get to know you a little more. Yeah.
Most definitely. I shared this on my Facebook already,
Oh, nice. Yeah.
which is where the majority of my audience is. So I haven't had much luck on the other platforms, but Facebook seems to be working the best for me. So kind of dabbled a little bit in TikTok, but I don't think it's really my thing.
Yeah, I think it's kind of hit and miss with TikTok. It's you either blow up right away or you don't at all. I think
You just get like 200 view cap, and that's it.
yeah.
That's it. You don't get any more. So, but also part of Ministry 167, we're a social media evangelism ministry, faceless. We don't put our faces on it. And we have reached, in the past 90 days, 4.4 million souls.
Nice.
So, like, it's not something I post very often or anything, just because, like, to God be the glory. The fact that scripture and devotionals and stuff like that is reaching that many people is amazing. So, and we're not doing it for the glory of ourselves. It's a lot of work. We're kind of behind a little bit, but like, can't keep up with the message or anything like that because there's just too much. But doing that, I have a digital marketing company called Lykins Digital. We do audio and video production, as well as music videos and or advertising on like Roku and Paramount, stuff like that. So I do website design, I do VHS transfer, mini DV transfer as well. So got my hands full, honestly. So it's kind of nice to sit here and hang out for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd be doing something else. Lately, I've just been liking to mess with recordings I hear that I think could be tweaked out and just tweak them out. Like, well, those vocals sound a little off. Maybe I can fix them. Just mess with it. Just that's kind of what I've been into this week. Just kind of focusing on doing that kind of stuff and just, make people sound better. Just doing it on my own, just not like send it to them saying, "Hey, your track sucks," and then be like, "I made it better," but like just like doing it on my end and showing before and after to some friends. Be like, "Hey, here's what it sounded like before. Here's what it sounded like after I dabbled with it a little bit."
Yeah.
So, learning the audio engineering side of things too is fun. So. I also teach vocals for anybody that's interested. So I learned from Melissa Cross, who works with Korn, Lamb of God, Slipknot. I do the classical training stuff, but I focus more on the screaming techniques. And a lot of people say I need to sing to them for them to hear me because I don't talk loud enough.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law is like, "Will you sing to me when you're talking to me so I can hear you?" I'll say something, she's like, "What? What'd you say?" So
Yeah, it's definitely something that well, with podcasting specifically, you learn more and more over time projection with your speaking voice, because you're used to it with your singing voice, so like diaphragm, engage your core, blah blah blah, right? But when it comes to doing that with just your speaking voice, you're not thinking about that. You're just like,
yeah,
save it for later. So you start talking real low, and and then yeah. But that was a hard transition for me, actually, because when we first started our first recordings, before we ever actually did the official first recording of Faith, Freedom, and Politics, they were like, you're gonna have to project, and I was like, oh, okay. It's like, pretend like you're talking to your grandparents all the time. I'm like,
That's great. That's great. Be like, "Hey, man. Hey, hi there."
yeah. And that'll allow you to find your podcasting voice pretty quickly, because then you're like, okay, well, now I know that I have to speak loud enough for someone who's hard of hearing to hear me, and and then it eventually just develops into this kind of a milky gravelly thing that you hear.
I'll be like, "Hey, this is Jeremy from Refuse, and you're listening to blah 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 blah." Like I get this whole voice is just up here like that, and when I'm just like, "Hey, how's it going?" But I'm told I have a pretty good radio voice, so
yeah, it's radio voice is that one's like a deviation from podcasting voice, because like podcasting voices, it's like it's just a heightened version of your speaking voice, but but the radio voice, yeah, like you said, it adds, it's like yeah, your register's a little higher usually, or you get, "Hey guys, welcome back to the radio show," that little bit of whimsy to it. I guess whimsy is probably the word for it.
yeah. But I kind of modeled that voice after like different DJs that I heard on the radio growing up, so.
But it definitely wasn't Wolfman Jack.
No.
I don't know if you remember him at all or not, but
I do. Yeah.
Or Casey Kasem. That's about all I can do that sounds anything remotely like him.
What about him? I used to listen to his top 20?
Top 40, yeah.
Top 40?
Yeah, he did top 40 every week. Yep. He was also the voice of Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Yeah.
Yep, that's cool. Cool.
So this ministry that you got going on, how did you get into that? What brought that to your attention?
My friend, who's the main guy that started it, asked me to be a part, and I thought, what a great way to do ministry, kind of on the back end, and reach. And we did not expect it to grow to the level that it did. I mean, one day we're just like, we hit 100,000, they hit 200,000, 3, 4, 5. It just kept. And then one day we're like, dude, we hit 2 million in a month. It's like, what in the world? Like, just. And somebody said, Jesus Christ has the best marketing there is. And I'm like, you're not wrong. So.
Yeah, he definitely moved the mountains, right?
Yep, definitely. So, I mean, let me pull it up here.
I actually have this in presentation mode. If you hit that down arrow at the bottom,
okay,
or the up arrow rather at the bottom of the screen there, between the camera and the little thing that looks like two people in front of each other.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if I can pull up what I want to pull up real quick. Okay.
But
give me 1 second here. He's going to switch over or not? Pages. Facebook pages can be a butthead.
Yeah, having an internet ministry, you never know. Sometimes you have those 10 folks that you see on a regular basis, and then other times that it just kind of explodes.
Well, I can show you here. It's kind of low right now, but this is not low. For most people, this wouldn't be low.
It's the that up arrow here in the middle.
I got it.
There you go.
That's where we're at this month. The last 90 days, almost 2 million. So
nice.
Yep. So that's pretty cool. So I was trying to see what the template was because he emailed me something about the template we're using now. Gotta find it real quick. Hope I'm not deviating from this conversation. It's just something I'm involved in. I want to share with people what we're doing.
I get it.
Oh, gotta go back in the conversation.
So you said that just a friend of yours just kind of said, "Hey, would you come over here and do this with us?" And
yeah,
it kind of happened organically, huh?
Yeah. So 3 a.m. we do a scripture image post. 6:05 a.m. we do a morning prayer with an image. 10:05 a.m. we do a verse of the day image. 1:05 p.m. we do a devotional of some sort. And then 2:35 p.m. we do one reel for the day that's based on evangelism. And then 5:05 we have a fear not image, usually like fear not for I'm with you, that kind of verse. And then an evening prayer at 8:05. So that's kind of the template. So yeah.
It's kind of the ABP, always be posting model.
Yeah.
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 So
I do like an on again, off again thing with Revolver stuff. Where we do like I'll have my alarm set for like, okay, you need to post, and then I get fed up with posting. I'm like, I just can't do it today. I can't do it for a while, and so I'll turn off the alarms and go back the other way for a little while. That's nice to have a team doing that. Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of taking care of it now because he's just busy with like work, and he's starting up a church in his neighborhood actually, and at the clubhouse it is where he lives, and he's working on that. He's like, so I'm kind of taking over the reins on all the posting and getting the images and sourcing everything, and so it could take some time. I try to do it like at night, like schedule everything out for the day.
Yeah.
So that makes it the easiest thing to do is just once a day, which I haven't been doing it. Which is probably why the numbers are down and it's at 2 million,
Right.
So
sorry if I looks like I lost interest for a second. It wasn't because I'm in my studio's in my basement, and so my basement has a lot of grass spiders, and yeah, there was a small one just to like the guy on my shirt here is just kind of wandering down next to my monitor. I went, okay, well, we're gonna get you out of the way.
kind of looks like you're in your basement with your background.
Yeah, with the yeah.
I'm in my basement too, so but it's not at my mom's house.
Mine's not at my mom's house either.
But people play video games in our mom's house basement. I'm just kidding.
Some of our viewers do that that very thing, and they actually make good money doing it. So I can't knock them.
Oh, my bad. I was just a bad joke. I have no filter.
It's a reality of life.
Well, if they're making money doing it, good, more power to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of reminds me of the movie Grandma's Boy.
Yeah.
Says she lives with me. He said my grandma lives with me. He says, but it's like clearly his grandma's house when you walk in.
That's great. That's great.
Oh goodness. So yeah, you're involved in the ministry. You're involved in the music, and then you do the radio show. What got you involved in that? And then you say you're doing like all these emerging artists on there. So
yeah,
how did you get involved? And then and what is it like getting to listen to new artists on a regular basis?
sometimes it's wonderful, and other times it's awful. Like, I mean, kind of got to. I'm just to put it nicely. Sometimes you have to outweigh the good. Yeah, have to outweigh the bad with the good stuff that you get. So, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Like, I love the fact that I know if I play someone's song, that hundreds of thousands of people are going to hear it. You know what I mean? Like, that's so just awesome to be able to do that for people. And how it started was back in, I want to say 2012, maybe. I found that site called Spreaker, and I made a podcast on there. Just there's a lot of dissension in the scene of the music scene, like bands arguing and stuff, and I knew who was arguing with each other. So I called the podcast Diffuse, right? To diffuse the situation, basically. So I'd say, hey, I'm playing you on my show, and I would tag all the bands, and most of them, some that didn't even get along, I'm playing your song. And it kind of diffused the scene, kind of like restructured and bands made up and all that stuff. So it was actually originally a podcast. And I didn't do that for a little while after that till about 2016, I think it was. I started reposting old episodes. And a guy got a hold of me that had a metal radio station out of Canada. He said, hey, would you be interested in doing a show for me? I'm going to do a show in Canada? Cool.
Yeah.
Like, that works. It was an internet radio station. I was fine with that. And so I ended up being the program director for that station, 24/7 rotation. So that lasted for a little while, and then I got sick again and had to step away from that for a while, and I didn't do it for a while, and then I actually ended up years later turning it into a Roku channel with music videos for a while on Roku, which is a lot of fun. But then my partner that was helping me out with that ended up passing away, so I shut it down. So have dealt with a lot of loss, man. My best friend passed away 4 years ago of 20 years, the one that's done a lot of my recordings. And I do things to honor, like I kept it the same name because I wanted to still honor my partner that passed away, and then release music from recordings that Omar had done, and honor those people. So as you can see behind, hold on a second here. That picture frame behind me is a picture of Omar and my daughter and me together. It's in my studio area. So, and to the right up there where you can see the guitars kind of crossing, the Dean guitars. I don't know if you can see from here.
Yeah.
That's Travis's picture, the one that's tattooed on me. So I have them honored in the studio. I have the Kiss thing up there because his favorite band was Kiss. So, and a lot of stuff around here that kind of honors them. And yeah.
So you got back into the radio.
Oh yeah. The owner of the radio station asked me a while back if I do a radio show. I said I don't think I'm ready to do it yet. Then he asked me a few months ago, and I said, why not? This would be fun. This would be a blast. I think I'm starting to get hoarse, bro.
Happens when you pod for a while, man.
Indeed. I'm like, throat's getting all scratchy. I'm like, mine'll last. They'll be like, what's wrong with you? I'll be like, I've been talking for 3 hours straight.
Yeah. It's what I was talking about, the Alex Jones reference before, you know. We're gonna get after you, you demons.
We're gonna get after you, demons. I might want to drink a little bit of water.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just decided to join up the radio, and then like it took off. The first show had 160,000 listeners. I'm like, what? I didn't think anybody was going to even listen. You know, the next week it was like up to 400,000. It went up to 878,000 to like 2 weeks ago. I think it was 900 plus thousand. Then it went to down to like 750,000. I'm thinking that's still fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's a nonprofit station. We do everything for just to give artists exposure.
Yeah.
You know? So really get along with those guys really well. We talk most days. Just checking them on each other. Be like, hey, how you doing? How's your day going? Shout out to Doug Franklin from Wild Dogs. It is his birthday today.
Oh, yeah.
Happy 65th. I'm just messing around. So, but together with a bunch of great group of people. Met someone alive last week. One guy runs 10th House Records. They've got a few artists on there. So, and they have an hour block of their artists. So that's pretty cool. And they're pretty funny too. So they're on the hour before me. I'm on at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays on wilddogsradio.com. So, and Live 365. I'm plugging my show now.
So say if you was on Rumble, we could, if it's a Saturday nights, we could raid out to you, because literally that's when Hangout ends on Saturday nights. We can raid out to you. But just kind of
Might have to roll in there, man. Might have to make that happen.
Convince him to put a camera in there and start streaming on Rumble so we can read out to you guys.
Nobody's talking. There's people in here, but nobody's talking. Nobody's saying anything really.
We got some lurkers. We got some lurkers today.
Lurkers. Am I that boring, guys?
They're listening, but they're probably they're engaging with other things. Maybe they got the
got their phone out.
Yeah, playing some games on their phone, or maybe they're listening to us talk while they're playing some actual video games, like going through Fortnite or something. Because after a while, you hear the same Fortnite music over and over and over again. You're going, okay, I need something different. So they throw us on in the background. Hey, I'm okay with being background sound. Give you something a little bit different. Hear a life story of Mr. Lykins here. So
you got somebody commenting on Facebook. It looks like. Thanks, Jeremy Walls. He said, "Proud of you, brother. How are you doing?" I'm doing well, man. He's saying, I know Jeremy Lykins helped me create soldier dedication. Yeah, I did. I forgot about that. Sorry, Jeremy. Another Jeremy. I helped him create a ministry that honors the fallen, that honors those who have served, that honors those who are serving. So,
what was the name of that?
Soldier dedication.
Soldier dedication.
Yeah. So, very great guy. Been friends with him for years. Jeremy, you're primarily on TikTok, right? He's commenting on Facebook.
Yeah, it usually takes about 16 seconds for it to catch up, so it might take us to respond. But if he leaves the link in the comment section there, maybe we could repost it so we can get send some more followers over there.
Actually, I'll do it. I made his website, so
because that'd be nice. Nice to send some followers over there.
Yep.
It's a wonderful thing about being in a community. Like I was talking about pre-show. With Rumble, we have so many. You have so many connections. Once you get streaming over here, people just they find each other and they start talking with one another, and everybody just kind of tries to lift each other up.
Yeah.
Send each other their viewers and listeners, and we try to translate it to other platforms, but sometimes it goes, sometimes it don't. So
shout out to K Wills, he was on here. So I forgot to look at the Facebook feed to see if there was anybody. Now there's been people commenting there. You said that's where people don't comment, or it doesn't show up in it. All right.
Yeah, it's really hard for the Facebook stuff to come up over here on this feed, and yeah, I see it now. It wasn't showing up on my end. Now that I got the Facebook on my other screen here. So yeah, we got a few. Yeah. Few comments there. Yeah, I'm not for sure why it didn't automatically update, but usually it does automatically update. But yeah, Facebook gonna Facebook, I guess.
Okay. It's been a blast, man. I just looked at the clock. It's like, man, we're less than a half an hour at the end time.
Yeah,
that's wild.
So, I heard you mention that next you're married now.
Mm-hmm.
How did you meet this lovely woman?
Met her through a friend. And she hit me up back 4 years ago on Facebook. She wanted to meet up. I was selling some things and she wanted to buy something off of me, and we ended up connecting. So lovely, wonderful. Didn't expect for it to be anything other than just to meet up. It ended up being more than that. So very cool.
One of those just kind of love at first sight type of things, or
yeah. She's a wonderful human being, man. Wonderful human being. So
it's good when you get the right one, isn't it?
yep, took a dud. I skipped the previous nightmare marriage. So
But you're in the good one now, and with the right one now. It sounds like because
yep,
yeah,
yep, yep. She's my number one supporter, man, of everything that I do. Yeah, number one supporter. So we had plans tonight apparently, and I was like, "Babe, I'm doing this podcast interview," and she's like, "Oh, it's no big deal. She's like, we can reschedule." I was like, "Really? You're not mad?" "No, not at all. You're doing this. You're not doing this for yourself. You're doing this for other people." And that's what this is. It's not really about me. It's sharing like my life experiences and things that I've been through, the illness, the music, and like making people realize that it's not, the industry is not all it's cracked up to be, you know.
yeah.
So, you know,
Well, and to borrow from a band called Our Last Night, you can make it till the sunrise, right?
I listen to those guys. I played Fate of Ophelia last week.
Yeah, they're fantastic. But it's that song. I know that was like that's the very first album. And it just kind of hit me when you're sitting there talking about like all the experiences you've been through, all the like definitely like hitting in the pitfall after pitfall after pitfall, and then having the 10 years away or a decade away of not being able to truly sing like you wanted to, and only being able to be like near music based basically, but not necessarily fully in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But through all that, you seem to have persevered, and that could be that's a great story for anyone to hear. You can make it till the sunrise. You can make it through. You don't have to let life take you over.
Right. Would you mind if I played a song on here?
If it's something that's copyrighted, we won't be able to while we're on YouTube. I'd have to actually take it to premium.
Oh, okay.
Actually, yeah.
They can look up Lykinthrope Chemical Hallelujah, and if they need to know how to spell Lykinthrope, it's in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know YouTube will, if you got copyright on it, then they'll immediately hit it, and then it'll pull the stream down.
I don't want to do that. Yeah, it sucks because like I put the stuff out myself, and it still gets my stuff gets flagged if I put it up on my own page. I'm like,
yeah.
Or I share monetization rights with myself sometimes. It's so weird. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I remember that during the MySpace days when you could just put music up and everybody could just share music with each other, and it was okay. Matter of fact, you had a playlist on your MySpace page, right? Like you could share that music with each other. Now it's like, you go to Facebook, you can't do nothing like that, because then people were like, how dare you do that? And matter of fact, we're going to take your Facebook page down for 4 weeks or 6 weeks or something like that, and you can't do anything but talk in Messenger or something like that until this copyright strike is over. It's like, oh, really? Metallica ruined it for everybody. I'm going to wave my fist at you, Metallica. I like some of your music, but you guys,
Yep.
It's all their fault.
Trying to grab this real quick here. 1 second.
I think as a musician, I think music should be free.
I don't disagree with you.
I think if you want my T-shirt, I want some money, but I think music should be free, and that's coming from somebody who, if you're in the same boat, it's like I think most musicians are in that boat. It's like, hey, you know what? You like my music? Listen to it. Everybody should be able to share it and have fun with it, no matter who they are. they shouldn't have to pay 99 cents to be able to listen to a song.
I'll share the album cover. How's that?
Yeah, that'll work.
Let's see here. There you go. That's what it looks like.
Oh, nice.
Album cover. So, yeah, that's the new single.
I'll have to send that over to my co-host Sterling. He'll probably like that too. He's me and him both love doing the Christian rock, Christian metal, Christian hip hop.
Nice. Well, you'll love Betrayed with a Kiss, and you'll love Lykinthrope then, because like it's all like everything I've ever written has had a faith base to it, at least. Like, I think the first few Lykinthrope songs are somewhat like faith based, but they're a little more metaphorical than like Chemical Hallelujah. That talks about praising through the pain. That talks about, you're still the resurrection, the life inside of me. Words like that. Like, there's no doubt what it's about,
Yeah.
So it's definitely a praise song, but from a darker, like, it's not touchy, the tingly feeling. It's not like, ear, I guess ear tickling, but you get what I'm saying. It's not like your corporate worship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah, it's not like your corporate worship.
Fall more into maybe a heavier skillet style or
Holy Name. You ever heard of them?
Holy Name. Yeah,
More along the lines of that. Yeah.
Maybe Demon Hunter. They're a little bit
not quite as heavy as Demon Hunter, but I think I said this earlier. I saw them last week. It was amazing. They played for an hour and 45 minutes straight. It was awesome.
Yeah, somebody else that I'd highly recommend you check out. Since we're talking kind of on that subject, have you heard of this new band Ashy Vangel?
What is it?
Ashy Vangel.
Oh,
it's ASHYBANGEL, Ashy Vangel, and they've put out 4 singles so far, and every one of them are bangers, dude. Like I have yet to see these guys' faces, and because like there's like a big conspiracy online of like whether or not these guys are real people or not, because nobody's seen their faces yet. They just seen like these what looks like it could be them, but it also could be AI. So people are like saying that it's AI. But like every song that they've released so far has been a banger, and I'm like, well, you know what? Even if it's AI, it's still really good, and it's the lyrics are correct. Like they're just like praising Jesus. Oh, it's really good music. Highly recommend. Yeah, and I got a whole laundry list of Christian hip hop that I could recommend to you, but I don't want to get too far off the track before we get out of the conversation. Talking about
It sounds really good.
Yeah, they become a regular in my playlist. So
This song, "Take My Fear," has been added to my playlist for Friday.
oh yeah, I guarantee you'll like everything they've put out. But
This is awesome.
yeah,
Oh, heck yeah. Thank you.
yeah, we do actually on Wednesdays after Morning Word it's a Worship Wednesday. So after the mainstream is closed down, we go into the premium side of everything. So everything's locked down to just Rumble, and the people who have a Rumble Premium or have a subscription to Revolver Broadcasting, and then we do Worship Wednesday, and we share worship music with each other. So it's Sterling and I, and then whoever else is in the chat. We all just share music with each other.
Cool. Cool. And that's on Rumble Premium, you said?
Yeah, Rumble Premium, or if you have a subscription, it's like for us. If you just have Revolver Broadcasting subscription, it's just $5 a month. If you do Rumble Premium, it's $10 a month, or you can do $89 for the whole year. If you use the promo code Studio STUDIO.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out Rumble. Yeah. Pay me. No.
It's been a joy, man. This has been amazing. Like, just to be here, part of this. I put his link down in the comments, but it didn't populate a hyperlink. That's weird. Is that because it's live chat? Do I need to put the HTTP?
Let me see if I can get it. I'll see if I can pull it and reshare it.
You see what I'm saying, though? It's weird. Normally you put
yeah
like a dot
in the live. Yeah, once I reposted it, it went out with as a link. Not on Facebook, but all the other platforms. So
okay, cool. YouTube, look at all the jazz. Ah, sweet. Now, Jeremy, it's on. Looks like it went to Twitch, Rumble, Revolver Broadcasting, and YouTube. So you're golden.
Yeah, sharing it everywhere.
Nice. It's awesome. Thank you.
Once again, sharing is caring.
Oh yeah!
So awesome. One quick break again.
Okay. So while he takes his final break here, what are you guys' thoughts on Jeremy's story thus far? What questions do you have for him? I know I asked that already, but I haven't seen anybody talk yet. So we had a few early on get into the chat here, but just really want to hear from you guys. Maybe there's something that you want to tell us about yourself that can relate to Jeremy's story, or maybe you guys are really into music and you just now you want to check out his music. Well, that link is in the description below. I'm not going to say on more t-shirts again. I'm not going to do that again. I promise. But I really remind you to be back here again at 9 a.m. Eastern. Where Sterling and I will be doing Morning Word as we do Monday through Saturday. And we do Bible study. That's what Morning Word is. Morning Word is Bible study. Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern. And on Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're also going to be, Sterling and I will be back, and hopefully we have a couple others joining us as panelists, but we do a show called Faith, Family, and Politics. So if you guys are interested in that, we do that on Friday night. And of course, there'll be another hangout on Saturday night. Who do I have coming up here on Saturday? This Saturday, I have Jeffrey Stafford. He'll be my guest here on this coming Saturday. So yeah, and if you guys like Sheriff Mack, or if you heard of Sheriff Mack, he's a week away. This coming Tuesday. I keep my calendar. I know when everybody's on. So yeah, I'll have a Sheriff Mack this week away, and Jeffrey Stafford this Saturday night. So be sure and be there for that, guys. I think it's gonna be a good time, and it's always fun to hear everybody's stories and all the different things they've been through in life. Man, life is takes so many twists and turns. I know that with my life, shoot, I never know which ends up dealing with all kinds of things right now. I'm not gonna burden you with it, but just kind of like, what's going on there? Why is it happening now? But I'm sure it'll all work out for good. I'm sure it'll all work out for good. That's the way it goes.
Any questions, anybody?
I
Nobody.
put the feelers out there, but I didn't get any questions out there. So I think what we'll do is we'll go down into my final two questions that I kind of told you about pre-show. First of those two is what would be your final advice for anybody that's out there watching and listening?
Final advice?
Mm-hmm.
I would say stick with God, man. He's the only person in your life that will never let you down. Because no matter how far you go, you're the one that went away, not him. You know, he's always there. I live my life now realizing that I was, in essence, a prodigal son. You know, you're never too far gone for him. If you were, I'd be in the same boat as you. You know, so I don't think anybody's ever too far gone. So if you right now are on here and wondering why you're here, you know there's a God that loves you, a God that cares for you, that sent his son to die for you. It is the greatest gift that I've ever been given. I truly feel like when I got my voice back and got my life back that I'm supposed to evangelize, you know? Supposed to, if people are watching because they know me, that's, you know, my dad, I have real big respect for him. Anytime there's a family gathering, he says the prayer or gives the message, whether it be a funeral, a wedding, or whatever. They always ask him to do it because they know it's from his heart. So I kind of want to live like my dad and be that person that when there's an opportunity to leave a message. So, yeah.
That's wonderful, man. And of course, my final question being, we've talked about your story, your life story. And if we were to put this cover on now, and we're now going to put the title on the front of the book, what would the title of the book of Jeremy Lykins be?
You know, that's funny that you say that because I was coming up with something the other day when I was doing the vinyl. I making a pressed vinyl. Fractured Hallelujah.
Fractured Hallelujah.
Yeah. If that makes sense. Like just
because of the adversity that led you back to him, huh? Yeah. Well, he left the 99 to find the one, right?
Yep.
So thank goodness he went after you.
Absolutely. Actually, going back to the way back, I feel like when I was diagnosed with bipolar, it actually like helped me with my faith to realize the way I was acting. There was an actual like reason for it. You know, like I said, I didn't look at it as a death sentence. I was like, you know, why don't I find more people like me?
Yeah. Yeah, gain a better understanding and be able to harness it as opposed to hate it.
Yep. Has its setbacks sometimes, but like who doesn't have mental health issues nowadays? You know?
Everybody's got a little bit of something, right?
Yep.
Everybody's got a little bit of something.
Yep.
Well, I want to thank you, Jeremy, for coming on here and telling your story.
Welcome, man.
It's been fun, and as I've told the others that have come on here on the Hangout, don't be a stranger. You know, we can always get on here and talk about more things. You know, if you get like a big project you want to talk about and you want to go through all that, you know,
Yeah.
we can hop back on here and fill in another 3 hours, but it won't have to focus on so much of just your life, but just, you know, all the things that you're doing at that time. So,
Yep.
and we can just kick back and have fun and, well, hang out. So I want to remind those who are watching and listening right now, you know, to stay in trouble. Why do I tell you to stay in trouble? Because if you have Christ in your hearts, you will in fact be in trouble with the world. The world doesn't want you living under his grace. That's your salvation first and foremost. And I pray that each and every one of you has that. The world doesn't want you reading his word, praying to him, having a relationship with him. And it definitely doesn't want you going out and doing something so dangerous as telling others about him. Definitely does not want you doing that.
Which I just did.
Yeah. So I want you to encourage you today to do all that anyway. Stay in trouble. That's the real rock and roll right there. Follow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the real rebellion right there.
Have you heard some of my stuff before?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Sometimes people just know the name and may not have listened. So.
I kick back on Facebook mostly. Yeah, that's where I heard you. But yeah, guys, check out all of Jeremy's links there in the description below. Make sure you're following him on Facebook, if nothing else, for sure, and get involved in those in the ministry. You know, I'm sure that you guys have a lot of benefit out of that.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you who are on the platforms other than Rumble, we'll see you tomorrow morning. And then for those of you who are on Rumble, I'm going to get you guys rated out to our good friend Eddie Block, who's knee deep in the news right now. I think he's talking about Dr. Fauci or something. So we're going to get you guys sent out over there, and you guys have a great night, and we'll see you in the AM. Love you so very much. And like our friend Goofy for Jesus says, hugs. Hugs out there. See you guys next time.